Welcome to the DT2 budget challenge. We're going to be streaming 5 runs from each of the bosses today. And on screen are the rules. This is not like the all-inclusive rules, but this is the standard set that I'm just running on stream today. We're going to be starting off with Vardorvis, and then we'll be going over to Duke, then Whisper, and finishing on Leviathan. Total prize pool for the challenge is 1 billion GP. And thank you to Omelette Hunter for putting up 200 mil and Baking Soda for putting up 600 million GP for this challenge. So let's start off with Vardorvis, and I will give you guys the honorable mentions for Vardorvis. These are the guys that did not end up taking home any prize money or placing in the top 5, but nonetheless a very good attempt from everyone, and starting with mostly Shork at 262k. So this was our highest submission. Still not bad at all. Still pretty good for regular Vardorvis. JTalk92 coming in with 122k, and Robert pushing us below 100k immediately with 73k. There is absolutely no way Robert has done this. So congrats to all the fellas already participating and having a go. Getting under 100k, especially on even just the honorable mentions, is really good. So nicely done, nicely done, nicely done. And we are going to be starting with not one of the top 5 runs, but a run from Kriskies, who, unfortunately for him, thought that this was going to be a awakened budget Vardorvis. So I will be giving you to start Kriskies running his awakened budget, which is a pretty interesting run, and I thought it'd be fun to show it as the first one going up. I'm sorry, Chris, man, but you got to read the rules. Paul actually also thought there was going to be an awakened competition, which I thought was hilarious. And he was like, I wasn't going to do it. And then I was like, you do know it's regular, right? You could have jumped in with like 100k or less. And he's like, oh, okay then. So for this challenge, there was no rules on axe skipping. You can do whatever you want. And at the start of the kill, sometimes you won't see players like perfectly price checking. But I either checked it myself, or they showed it at the end of the kill and I added everything back up. So I know the budgets for everything, I'm pretty certain on it, and if you want to contest it, feel free, but yeah. So there's no rules about how anyone does the actual bosses themselves. And of course you can bring sweets in, you can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, if you do it, you're going to be racking up the cost of supplies. Runes costs, supplies costs, everything costs. The only thing that won't count for this kind of stuff is things like cape teleports. Technically speaking, he's not allowed the rune pouch either, so Chris is, maybe read the rules next time, but you know. And then the ring, the TP ring, also not allowed. Actually, you're not allowed the thrall book either, Chris. What are you doing? I think Chris was just like having a go at this without reading rules, but it's still a funny run. And again, this is Awakened Vardorvis, so with a 2.5 million budget, this is pretty good. Is he going to get hit? Or the first hit, the 43 to the head? He's not doing too badly, though. His setup consists of, what, like 12 brews? 12 brews, 5 restores, and lots of super combats. He is in full rune. Full rune. With an obby shield on, because you're not allowed to use untradables. Even though he's got a rune pouch and a thrall book, but you're not allowed to use defenders in this challenge, because they're untradables. Same goes for things like Void, you can't use Void. So there's a fair few items that are just like default banned because it is no untradables allowed. This is, I think, like a 9-minute kill as well, so yeah, pretty long ass time. Taking some notes. At least he's profiting from the challenge. We will see. So yeah, awakened orbs right now are, I think, 4 mil right now, something like that. Yeah, 4 million GP per attempt here, which is already crazy. We could bring untradable teleports to get to the boss to reset. Yeah, I don't think I might have mentioned it in the rules, but like if you wanted to start the boss on full HP and TP there, that's fine. If you wanted to like trade an alt account to get 99 HP before you start, that's fine, that kind of stuff. It's about what you enter the boss with. So if you enter the boss and you have like an angler that you eat and you're 121, you can't do that. The angler will count. Yeah, they dropped to 3 now. They're beginning to go back down. Yeah, that's good. Beginning to. Still going to take a while. Let me turn. Oh, it's ready full sound. There we go. We are 2 brews in, super combat down. It's actually really surprising. Every time I do a budget thing or I see people do it, it's really interesting because you really don't need good gear to do good DPS. Like this whip is hitting 25s, 30s, probably close to 40s. maybe not 40, like 35 high, you know, there's a 30, there's a 37, you know. And it's always really interesting that like you can get away with this stuff and you can just do damage, and at the end of the day, like max gear is really good, but it's certainly not like needed for a lot of this stuff. Probably my favorite thing about having these budget challenges is like proving that to people. Of course you got to play well, but I mean, okay, it is Chris, but like, you know, oh, scary one. He's doing fine. Just taking his time. Getting ragged by stranglers on the way to Vardy? Yeah. So you could start Vardy on 99 HP with the help of an aatykon or something. That's okay. It's just for the fight itself and making sure you're not like potted before it starts, or you're not angling before it starts, that kind of stuff. He's missed an attack, takes a 48. He's still got to dodge the axes. There's some good prayer flicking. Didn't find out this until about this until yesterday. Honorable mention me, please, for them well. At the end of today, I'm going to be putting up a variety of new challenges for players to potentially go for. I'm not going to talk about until the end, but if you stick around or tune back in later, whatever it is, there might still be some stuff you could go and compete for. You're bringing Myth Cape, Concape, never equipping. Yeah, that stuff's fine. If I ever do more of these in that fashion, I'll make it very clear in like the big rules, like the big Discord rule set, about how that's okay. You can bring TPs, you just obviously can't equip them or use them for the stats and stuff. Bro, Chris here is going to get the blood rune plate body. Oh, bit of a scary movement. Hit by the axe. Off prey, nearly. I haven't actually seen any of these runs in like in full, so I don't know how crazy these are actually going to be at the end. Like, this is looking close, right? He's only got one full super combat left out of 3, and it's 1/3 HP. The amount of mistakes you can make is limited. At best, it's limited. He's getting the prez, though. Will there be a riddle challenge? I wish. My super riddle that I'm trying to work on is still like a long ways away. God, this is like terrifying. I've only done one awakened Vardorvis kill myself, so this still looks a bit scary to me, even though it's probably fairly in control at this point for people. Somewhat terrifying.
Like you would make a mean
yeah, and it speeds up too.
Arms.
When he's on his last like 200-300 HP, it gets even crazier. These bits here are like so nice. You get to take time and not have to worry about the kill. Liam Berry, thank you for the prime. Max off prey. So on Awakened Vardorvis, the axes max something like 94 off prey. You can prey melee against them, half the damage. So each axe is going to give you approximately like maybe 30 to 40 damage on average if you get hit by axes. Oh, another off prey for Chris. A 50 from Vardy. It's crazy how much melee prey reduces. Oh, look at the clicks. This is where it gets intense. Yeah, this is crazy. Look at the timing on this. Hit by an axe, 55. Off prey, hit with Vardy for the 35. He's 11 HP. Somehow still alive, and he's got a prey. Bro, Chris thought this was awakened, man. Imagine doing this on like a serious budget. It would be very interesting. It would be very interesting. I would love to see some more awakened Vardorvis on a budget in particular. These clicks are fantastic, though. Timing's great. Yeah, axes can hit something like 94. Vardy can hit probably like 50, 55 potentially. Well, I mean, the amount of dodging is pretty crazy. Even using axe skips, this is pretty terrifying. Kirby also tried Awakened. Yeah, I think they kind of just like auto thought it was, which is sort of funny. It's still funny. And it's still got 300 HP. His damage on Vardy is not good. So he's down to... he's gonna whip spec, bro! To be honest, I guess you have to whip spec. So he's got 1 dose restore, good amount of brew, 2 dose super combat, but he's only 93 strength, 82 attack. That's his last dose of super restore, last dose of super combat. So now he can't really afford to make any mistakes. Oh, he's got 1 more dose of super combat, so he can brew into super combat as well. Go on, Chris. Negative DPS. Bro, this is like my first Vardy kill. I was down to like no supplies for the last 100 HP. And then it becomes a case where you can't rely on supplies, so you just have to focus up. It's quite interesting. Changes how you play. There's a big whip hit. Bro, not even close. It's so intensive at the end as well. Very good clicks, good timing. We love to see it. 87 HP. Feel like you start paying attention if no supplies. Yeah, that's how it was for me as well. I had to start really thinking about it. Oh, this happened to me too, where I got this at the end and I was like, oh, I'm fine. Gotta get my hits in, you know. Big whip spec. Good order of clicking. Very good order of click. Order of clicking, order of clicks. And there's the kill for Chris. With a Virtus Rogue bottom, Chris making money from the challenge. How does he do it? How does he do it? Chris with the 2.5 million GP budget awakened Vardorvis for the Virtus Rogue bottom on the 1kc. Easy as it gets. Congrats, Chris. You may have competed in the wrong challenge, but you were the true winner today. So that's going to be our first incorrect but pretty well played submission for a, well, just not even this competition, honestly. Maybe if someone runs a budget Vardorvis Awakened in the future, Chris will be able to compete. But for now, he has done very well today. And what a frame, look at that gear. Running the Berserker Helm, room top and bottom, fighting boots, combat brace. So a really nice choice of gear. I respect the Warrior Ring as well. And bro came in here with 2.5 mil and just 10x'd his bank. How about that? Not too bad at all. Right, let me prepare the next one. So that's the first submission. Thank you to Chris for the whatever that was. And next up, we will be having a look at Ali Panda and his 70... I'm going to round this up to 73k GP for Vardorvis. So let's go take a look. This is his gear. As we can see, it comes out to 73k, and things like the ring again, these untradables for teleporting are completely fine. And he's opted for some recoils. In fact, he's got 3 recoils in the inventory, strength ammy, and mithril gear. I don't even know, I think that's a granite longsword? Granite longsword? I think. So interesting choice of armor, interesting choice of food. And remember, this is not awakened. The entire competition is not awakened. Kriski's just submitted for the wrong category, the wrong competition. So here we go. Let's jump in. I don't know how many of these have sound and whatnot. I'll put it on and see if it works out. So Reggie Vardorvis has 700 HP. Here we go. Ali Panda with the 73k GP. So this is the setup we're going to have to be a bit more used to seeing. Something a bit more like this. And again, this is under 100k. This is under 75k. So a decent improvement from only just better than Robert's. So Robert had a 73k and 456 GP, and Ali here is running a 72k and 947 GP. And this entire fight is about 7 minutes long. So a lot of zeros, a lot of zeros. Sorry, Robert, bro. Very close. Can we speed this up? I can speed it up a little bit. I will give you the 1.5. Because we have a lot of stuff to get through. 1.5 for now, maybe 1.25 on some of them. I will say this right now. There are a couple of Duke kills that take a while. There are a couple of Duke kills that take a while, without saying much. Duke has a lot of HP and he's doesn't do too much damage, so the kills are interesting to say the least. But like, respect to flicking on this one. It's time, boys. It's time to buy granite longswords. Man's hitting 30s. I find it so crazy to me that this setup can even hit 30s, right? Granite longsword is like a level 50 weapon, maybe. Mithril armor, literally just a strength ammy, fighting boots again. Just recoiling his way to victory. It shouldn't be too stretched, only a little bit. There's a 34 max hit. 34 max hit in this setup. Yeah, piety definitely obviously pick up. If you don't have piety, rigor, and augury, I think you are not doing yourself any favors for this kind of thing. And to be fair, yeah, like everyone is max stat, and you got super combat, so I guess the strength is not so much in the gear. And Vardy doing a lot of chip damage regardless of what you wear, so it is hitting 7s though. I wonder if Vardy does damage based on your defense or something. Kind of feels like it. Seeing like 8s and 9s in this armor is pretty rough. I never thought I saw that on my gear. But you couldn't use Piety? No, you can use Piety. This is 5th place submission for the comp with a 73,000 GP budget. There's absolutely no way. How has this happened already twice now? 3 times even. All Vardorvis damage, including his grab, cares about his defense, it's melee. I see, I see. Dude, he's the fastest Osu player in the world. Look at that. That will slow us back down for the last few minutes. This is the real pace. This is the real pace. Awakened Vardy, not too crazy. A little bit more intensive at the end. Nothing quite like the Awakened. Awakened goes crazy. .25 Duke 1 hour fight. You think it's only 1 hour? Dove, bro. Do I have something for you? First bit of damage. Successful act skip, and he's okay. This sword is a granite longsword. This is an unironical first time usage of the granite longsword I have seen in RuneScape. I have never seen someone use this item. Maybe there's like a pure or some sort of like 45 Zerker or something. I don't really know where this is used. I've never seen this before, like ever. Surely someone submitted a bronze halberd to enrage Whisperer. Whisperer? You'll have to wait and find out. It's surprisingly good. It's a really interesting item. Never been pest control. I might have seen some back at pest control back in the day. Yeah, it's possible. Looks like it could be tier 80. It's kind of decent. It's not bad at all. Better damage taken. Successful prayer. And we're back in. He is also down to the last few bits of food. That's the last shark gone. Last dose of prayer pot remaining. It's time to clutch up. I feel like this is going to be one of those things that happens all the time at Vardorvis especially. You get to the very end, you're out of food, and you just have to play well. There's no like food to back up on now, you just have to play good. Makes you focus up, it's interesting. Not using recoil, there's a recoil sitting in his inventory! And it's on. He's noticed the recoil, here comes the damage. Oh, close on that one. Good timing on the attack. And the last 92 HP, there's a 34 max hit. 12 and a 1 from the recoil. Cannot afford to take any damage anymore. That was a whole inventory of prayer pots, whole inventory of sharks, some Karambwam, some combo food. Makes you wonder, how can anyone improve from this? Any redemption? Oh my goodness. The 6 HP kill. Receiving javelin heads, dragon javelin heads. That was a 73k kill and brought down to the wire. Literally like 1 dose of prayer left, nothing else at all. Makes you wonder what else people did. Could they go any better than this? Could they go any lower? Is it even possible? So let's find out. In 5th place, we have Ali Panda with the just under 73k. Very well played, Ali. Not quite in the prize money, but onto the scoreboard, so pretty good. Did he profit? I don't know. I think he must have profited it, although a lot of the supplies was definitely the money for this. But got close. So nicely done, putting people on the scoreboard. Very good. Let me get back onto the next one. While we set this up, I can fish more anglers. Lovely intermission content. Right. We are on to place number 4. And this run is from Bavaro. And this run is a wild 36,000 GP run. 36,000 GP. So we've nearly halved the GP again to get here. And this tech is now entering Black Salamander era. Black Salamander era is very strong. This weapon will make itself known throughout the tourney. And we've even got some barbarian tech going on. Recoils, barbarian tech, and you'll notice he has no prayer pots. I don't know if barb pots or this potion here gives, I don't even know what that is right now. I think it's a super defense. Yeah, super defense for a 1k boost. Interesting play. But let's get into it. And you also notice he is running the adamant crossbow with 40 ruby bolts. What an interesting setup. So this plan here is to go for ruby bolts to start the kill. And he starts with one immediately. It's a 0, because he procced it with range. That's so unfortunate. And he gets another one immediately. Is this a private server? A back-to-back ruby? Okay. Okay. Not bad from the 4th place. Bavaro just going in. He's playing on a private server at this rate. Unconventional tile markers, it makes you wonder, has he crafted his own little bit of meta to make this work? Who knows? All we know is he's the Ruby Bolt champion. Ruby Bolt's, of course, taking off a big chunk of the DP, a big chunk of Vardorvis' damage without having to do anything other than wait for rubies. There's another one already. 3 in the span of about 10 hits. Makes you wonder how many resets this took. You can always run in and out and restart until you hit the rubies. But it is a lot of RNG. But if you want to go for a super budget kill, that's what counts. Got to go for the creative strat. There's another ruby, and it's starting to hit under 100. There was like an 83. So these are still super effective and probably more effective than other damage sources. But he's decided now Vardorvis is under half HP. He's now onto the Salamander tech. So with 67 prayer points, he's going to have to start flicking here. Sets up his quick prayers, and it's time to flick. Yeah, I think that was 3 ruby bolts in like 10-15 attacks, and there was one at the start that didn't go through either. So pretty damn good RNG. You can always ask how many resets it took, but pretty good. With the steel kite shield as well. The steel kite shield, absolutely just huge upgrade to the defensive setup. 4 rubies in 18 hits, yeah. And one of them didn't even count. This guy would have global wreck with this RNG. I do think if you want to go for global wrecks, these kind of like highlight how you can really do that. Strats are quite interesting. 36 with a Salamander, you guys saw it here. Salamander confirmed better than a Granite Longsword. And let's not forget the Salamander is a tier 70 weapon. 70, I think. I think it's 70. You need 70 magic, range, and melee. It might be 60 or 70. Let's not forget that Black Salamander is a really strong contender. And anyone who didn't look for a Salamander as part of their setup probably didn't compete at this quite high level of this budget. And of course, remember, this is half the budget of the 5th place. Half the budget. So already going way down there. This is definitely a big focus on saving money with flicking and not having any prayer pots. But this Salamander is going to town. Another interesting thing is that I believe melee Salamander, when it's on the melee mode, is slash-based. So this is actually a decent slash-based weapon. And Vardy being weak to slash, it's the perfect fit. So again, if you didn't pick up the Salamander tech, next time, now you know. Yeah, and this kill is a much faster kill with a just under 5-minute video time. So very fast. You're hearing combat achievement, kill stuff with the Salamander? It turns out Salamanders are just the best weapon in the game. The most versatile. They can attack from corners. Oh, nearly taking some damage hit. Some good clicks to recover. And another X skip to sort this out. He's only down to 6 sharks now. I'm not sure if he's got a recoil on. But he does have those Barbarian potions, which are going to add a little bit more HP every time he nibbles them. I think Barbarian pots heal about 6 HP every time you use them. Recoil is on now, just making sure they're good to go. 4 sharks remaining, and Vardy is only 70 HP. Overall, a very clean run. I barely saw any mistakes so far. Maybe like hit by one thing, if that. Very clean run. But we are on 22 HP. 21 prayer, 20 prayer. 35 HP. This is now within 1 hit range, as long as he does the damage. Come on, take us home, Black Sally. More Sally CAs, please. I didn't really enjoy some of the Armadillo CAs, but I was a big fan of the them when it came to, I think, Muspo. I actually quite enjoyed the Muspo Salamander, unironically. Come on, Bavaro, finish it up. 13 prayer points. Still gotta flick this. 1 HP Vardorvis. Will the recoil kill it? The Salamander takes the victory. Congratulations on the 45 Adamant Ore, 33k. And he's running a 36k setup. So 36k setup for this. Incredibly well done. This takes us into 4th place. Makes you wonder, 3 more runs to go, and they are all cheaper than this. How could you possibly get better? Now we've introduced Sally Tech, we've introduced Ruby Tech, what else is left? Makes you wonder. So 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place are all in the money. So unfortunately, Bavaro, an amazing attempt, but not quite there. So let me get set up once again. Bro, the amount of anglers that I've caught is like 3 every time I do one of these. The next one will be a submission from Lexus. And this is also going to be, I believe, Black Salamander Tech. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. Here we go. I think this is the load-in screen. Entering the site. Here we go. This is Lexus run, and this budget, you'll see, is a little bit under 30k. So have a look at this. This is the entirety of his gear. Turtle Tech, regular potions, and this Black Salamander that doesn't contribute to the guide value. I believe that doesn't contribute to guide value, so I've added it on. I may be wrong in doing that, but again, this didn't actually affect any of the standings, so even if that did count, well, I think it doesn't count, but I've added it on. So for anyone using Black Salamander, you'll see the price check from the guide is like not quite as high as I've actually made it. Could have added climbing boots. I think climbing boots might have given a max hit, but they may not have done. So he might have checked the max hits, he might have checked it out, don't really know. I've watched all the budget stuff, I haven't watched the full runs. But he didn't even go for full doses, he just went for 2 doses and a 2-dose prep up. So this run is a 29,849 GP run, and it lasts about 7 minutes. I'm actually so surprised because he's got like no gear on whatsoever. And the other guys took stuff like monk's robes and other things. But this is straight up just like, I click with Salamander. He's also an Iron Man. How incredibly good is that? So the other setups, I'm actually surprised that this is possible because there's no recoils or anything, right? He hasn't got a recoil on, hasn't got anything on, he's literally just got like, I am Turtle Man, and that's it. That's a DQ, wait, what is? I think they're all fine, are they? What, the Iron Man? Oh yeah. If anything, he's doing the challenge even better. See, this is crazy to me, because like, Vardy's got 700 HP, and every time Vardy attacks, he does like 4 damage. And I know the Salamander does like a pretty good max hit, but look at the HP difference. He's dealt 30 damage? Okay, he's dealt 50 damage, and he's taken like 80 damage? Kinda crazy. Rank 1 Vardorvis Iron Man. This is rank 1 Vardorvis Iron Man. Yes, it is. And we still have 2 more runs to go after this. Should all items be uncounted as untradables as it's an Iron Man? Damn. That's a deep thought. Doesn't have axes marked? No. I mean, Lexus literally has 4 tiles marked. He is doing the tech to make sure that he can skip the axes, which is completely fair game for this challenge. No rules against it. And the damage is now starting to flow. Took the Salamander a minute to warm up, but it's now looking pretty good. He's making sure to eat quite low. I don't know if it's a case where you can tick eat Vardorvis, and therefore you can save some HP. I feel like that might be the case. But that would also require you to time it quite well. So he's 5 HP now. He waits for the attack, and then he eats. I feel like you can tick eat. Yeah. So tick eat tech is now getting put into play here, where you have to eat on correct timings to make sure you maximize the HP gain of your anglerfish or your food, whatever it may be. And in doing so, your inventory will effectively contain a bit more HP. He's making sure to eat very carefully there. This will give Jagex some ideas for CAs. It might do, but I think a lot of these will end up being Salamander tech. And again, as you guys could be aware, pretty much all of this is going to be Salamander tech now. All the way down. And I think the lowest possible budget is also very likely to be Salamander tech. I don't think you could... I think it's like the weapon of choice, to be honest. And it just gets down to cheaper supplies, playing better, and maybe hitting harder, which is really interesting. Gotta really play your food correctly, gotta flick your prayers, can't afford to make any mistakes anymore, so it goes from a place where you could maybe make a couple, you could take a bit of damage, to basically just, you gotta play well. 9 HP, eating carefully here. Not too many tickets, but there's definitely been a few in there. Lexus is a big gamer. And of course, remember, this is third place. So this will be in the money for a lovely 25 million GB, I think. Ooh, good dodge there at the end. So from a 30k budget all the way to 25 mil, not too bad at all. Kriskies is currently still the winner of the most GP, thanks to his drop from the Awakened boss, but we are now in the prize money. Amazy still gets a kill, only 10 food so far. Yeah, really good usage of food, really good usage of prayers. Very few ticks lost. Notice he's always right-clicking Vardy a lot, every single time. Get your DH sets ready, any speeder-uppers. I will speed this up a little bit, yeah. For the kills that approach anything over 5 minutes, I'm going to start speeding them up a little bit, and then we'll slow them back down when we get towards the end. Just a lot of flicking. Should have waited to do this challenge after CAs were released. Kill all DT2 bosses in one inventory with a salamander. I don't know if that's even possible with Whisperer, because I feel like you're going to get meleeed, and you would have to essentially, like, you would have to DPS race it at the end, and that's probably not doable. The DPS only goes up from here, since Vardy defense is going down. That's true, yeah, that's true. As soon as you get out of the early stage, you're going to be doing more damage. For those that don't know, Vardorvis defense scales linearly with his HP. It starts at around 415, or 315, I think. Maybe 215? I think it's 215. And then it goes down to about 145 over the course of the kill. So the longer the kill goes on, or the further down you go, that's a good tick eat. It means you'll do more damage. So you can get away with less supplies as the kill goes on compared to the start. It's also quite interesting that the Ruby tech early on was a scary moment. Had to get the flick, had to eat the food, and he's only on 10 prayer now. It's time to start sipping that super... Oh, that prayer. I was gonna say super restore. Why people gotta do this stuff? Why you people gotta do? Bro, we're just giving them ideas. We already know what the CAs are. It's gonna be kill everything with a salamander and under 5k budget, and complete it within 3 minutes as well. Get the world record with a salamander, and lose 0 prayer points, and do not get hit by anything. Sounds fun. And the B2B awakened. I would love to see some B2B awakened in the stuff. I still think 1kc is probably plenty, but oh, very close bit of damage there. I'm going to slow it back down now. He's getting towards the end. A valiant performance so far. I don't think any of these guys have taken big amounts of damage. If they have, it's been like only 1, and there will be some chances for sure. Scary movement here. Oh, some good dodging. The further we get towards the end here, the harder it gets. A 14 from the salamander. Vardy is 16 HP. And there's the kill. Very nicely done for 17 emeralds. Very well played. That was Lexus with his 30k budget run. And the scoreboard is as follows. 5th place Panda, 4th Bavaro, 3rd place Lexus, and moving down now below 30k. Now, next up we have none other than Mr. Kirby. I will click my fish again while I set it up. I've caught 2 fish. My record is 2 fish. Let's hope I can get 4. And let me get Kirby up and running. So Kirby did his runs on stream, and I think people knew his budgets. So Kirby also competed in Leviathan, and in both cases did very well. And Kirby is introducing some really interesting tech in the form of Phoenix, and this is the first time we've saw any kind of Phoenix so far. He's got also sound, and I'll turn it down a little bit. This is also a 7-minute kill, so I will start this a little bit faster, and we'll go through. Kirby also opting for some monk's robes to help with the prayer bonus, and a steel med helm, or presumably the fashion and a tiny bit of defense. I respect the steel med, probably one of the cheapest items on the market for it as well. Kirby opting for, I think, a 2-dose super combat, or a 2-dose strength pot, maybe realizing that he didn't need the accuracy boost after all. He's also running the recoils, which is definitely a good idea, I think, to bring 1 or 2. And 5 or 6 Phoenix, which will heal him in a similar way to Redemption when he gets low enough HP. So these are probably just very efficient food, very efficient healing for himself. 35 heal, so these are very good efficient HP slots, but I'm not sure they're like as good as an angler or something, or some other piece of food. I mean, if Kirby's using it, probably. Same techniques as everyone else. Wait, he's like flicking protect item. What? Protect item tech? Wait, what is this? Kirby? I think he's doing it to keep in rhythm. I think he's doing it to keep in rhythm. He's practicing the redemption flick, yeah. So another cool bit of tech here. Kirby, an absolute mastermind with all the tactics on DT2. And he's not going to be making any or very, very few mistakes here. Is that a Zami Brew? I think that's a Zami Brew. I'm surprised. Wait, does Zami Brew heal him? Honestly, wait, someone tell me how Zami Brew works. I don't know. He's keeping track of ticks though, yeah. I need to watch as he clicks a Zami Brew. Oh, smited right there. Looks like it gives some prayer. Ah, so he's using... Okay, so basically Zami Brews are cheap. He's using them to redempt. And he's doing a redemption method kill, and if he gets too low, he's going to eat a swordfish. So this feels a bit similar to how... This is very similar to the idea of Corrupted Gauntlet, where some players are going to use like redemption strats and then eat food when they get a bit too low and it can have a chance to kill them. So if played correctly, this looks to be a very efficient sort of setup. And it's also going to be able to give him a bit more HP for the amount of inventory space. There'll be a bit of shaky clicks there, Kirby. Oh, he nearly got smited there, but if he gets his prayer back on at the right time, he'll never not catch that flick. Just has to make sure to click correctly. Bit of a misclick there from Kirby, and he just recovers. Very nice. Smooth gameplay as ever. But yeah, so he's taking his super strength bot, and the Zami Brews are giving him the attack bonus as well as the prayer required to do this. This is definitely the most intensive setup that I've seen so far. And again, remember, this is a 28k run. The 28k and 300 GP. So this is about 1.5k GP cheaper than Lexus' third place run. Kirby will be netting 75 million gold pieces for this run as well, leaving only first place. Who will it be? He did a cheaper run? What, Kirby did a cheaper run? If anyone submitted more of these runs or got onto doing these, they were probably a bit too late to it. Didn't Kirby get a 17k budget kill? He might have done it. I'll have to check Discord for it. There's a chance he did a bit too low. I will double check with Kirby. There's a chance it was too late or I've got the wrong one up. Regardless, I know it's not first place. Oh, I think he did. Okay, we pause. Let me double check he's not got another one. This was submitted 1 day ago. I believe he did this on stream, so... Switching Kirby runs. Here we go. So this is still the same setup. This is still second place. Nothing has changed. I will skip through about halfway. This is exactly the same method. He submitted it kind of hella late. Didn't quite get it. Yeah, so he's dropped the P-Nex, only difference here, yeah. I think he got hit by an axe, Kirby? I'm gonna watch the axe again. 7:30-minute kill. No way! Okay, so I can't amend this in the little bit of info, but this is a 17k kill. I'll just amend a note for myself. So this is a jump of 12k from Lexus 29k. This is still second place, though. Someone did an even better kill than this. Once again, the steel med... Oh no, the steel med has been removed. Kirby deemed it not worthwhile after all. Very sad to see it go. And even the great Kirby is going to be brought down by someone with an even better kill. Yeah, Monk's Robes. I think it's a strength Ami. It's very surprising how good the accuracy is with the Salamander. And with Vardy being half HP, he's used his last dose of Super Combat. Sorry, not Super Combat, of a Strength Bot. Fashion worth the extra budget. It wouldn't have changed anything. The closest gaps between players were no more than like... Well, it was about 1k maximum, I think. So, yeah, pretty close either way. I still love this strat, though, because Kirby was one of the few people to go for a redemption-based strat. And it got him very, very close. Very close. 7 defense? Yeah. Scary, because Vardy, like, every time you sip a Zami Brew, increases attack, gives prayer back, but reduces defense. And so Kirby, if you look bottom left, down here, He is 3 defense right now. I don't quite know how Vardy rolls, but it's going to be hitting him pretty much every time. The good news is Kirby also brought recoils, so regardless of his low HP, he's going to be dealing damage on Vardorvis at the same time. I think he took 1 exit, but of course players are allowed to reset this if they want to. So there was absolutely nothing wrong with any of that. Don't think he gives a fuck. I don't know how it works. I feel like you get hit more if you have higher defense. Sorry, get hit more if you have lower defense. But it might just be the case that I saw people getting slapped left and right. I don't really know. Salamander making light work of Vardy here. Definitely feel like you get hit more with no defense. It feels like it. Don't know the answer though. Barely take damage with Torva. Yeah, it might be a scaled damage. He might do damage based on your defense. It's possible. Haven't really looked into it myself. Some nice footwork there from Kirby. The footwork at Vardy, like the clicks back and forth, they've all got to be on tick. You can't make a mistake here. Everything is very, very specifically timed. In and out. Vardorvis, 24 HP.
Just get it, please. Just get this.
Within 1 hit. Go on, Kirby. Another X to dodge hit. Very nicely done. He's down to his last swordfish, and there we go.
17k budget kill. Of course, it's the run where I messed up a price check at the start.
Hey, here is his actual price check.
There we go.
There we go. So apparently the salamanders do count, but regardless, this is just under 17k. Remember, this is still not first place, even with his upgraded setup. Inventory is definitely really interesting. He's the only player to both try Phoenix here, and the only player to use Zamibrew Redemption method. And I do think that Zamibrew Redemption method might have yielded an even better kill, because he ended with a lot of supplies. If you look back here, Kirby ended with like 6 of these, 6.5, nearly 7. So he could have dropped 5 and been okay. If he did more runs, potentially even better. So I don't know what that would have brought him down to, but let's set up for the final submission. So this is Kirby taking home 2nd place with 28k. Sorry, 17k, not 28k. Too late now. I'll adjust it in the post whenever I make it, or I'll change it now. But Kirby's still taking home 2nd place. Let me get set up for the final one. So this budget is a 14,660 GP run. So this is a run from obese, not Leopard, but Leopold. And this was the 1st place run, peaking under 15,000 GP. Obese actually absolutely gaming all over Vardorvis. Let's see how he does it. So this is his gear. I know it's maybe the quality, maybe it's on my end. No, it's 480p. This is fine. I did say 480p was acceptable, and as long as we can see stuff clearly, it's okay. So the 480p, this is also tech clearly, 14,325 GP. I think this actually is correct, including the salamander. But regardless, super, super, super low stuff. And I think this was a curry run. I think it's curry or stew. It's curry or stew. I think it's stew, maybe. It turns out, should have gone to the Warriors Guild to get your stuff. Potato PC. And this run is for, I believe, 150 million GP, taking home the 1st place prize for Vardorvis. From 15k, that's a pretty good return once again. And of course, we are yet again making use of salamander tech here. Also recoils, and really just good gameplay. No damage taken, good prayer flicking. He's got 0 prayer potion. So Kirby was doing redemption strats. I think Lexus might have been doing flicking. I think Bavaro and Ali might have had prayer. But each of these runs is fairly distinct from the other. And there's a gravestone timer, yeah. I think a lot of these guys had definitely died. You can see the gravestone timer up here in the top right. So he's had a couple of attempts at this. I think a lot of people gave it their all in 5-6 attempts. I don't know who did the most attempts. It would have been interesting to ask around. Maybe if we run something else, we'll get people to try and track to see what they did. That's not the right ones, Tom. That's from a different thing. The rules for this competition were no untradables allowed. You can submit for a total of 2 bosses. Don't know what else there was, actually. I'll put up the screen after this. We'll keep flicking back to it. But yeah, but mostly pre-pots allowed? No pre-pots allowed, no. If you pre-pot, those potions now count towards the total price. So you can pre-pot and you can pre-angler if you want, but they will count. So all this is like the stuff you take into the boss. Like as soon as you're in the boss room, that's all you got. Thralls, you would have to use the Book of the Dead, and the Book of the Dead is untradeable, so that doesn't count. Can't use that. Hello, Jojo. And now he's got this inventory tag tech. Now, usually I don't approve of inventory tag tech. However, this one is being used to identify which of the stews have been eaten and which are still available to be eaten. And so this tech is quite useful to determine which one's full or not, because it's not so easy to see when you're doing all this stuff in Vardorvis. Did this with wines, yeah. Useful tech, nice use of plugins, and perfectly within the rules. Yeah, it's very also interesting how everyone uses slightly different tiles. No one has their exact amounts, exact positions or anything. Everyone's got their own sort of favorite way of doing this. Dude is cracked. He is absolutely gaming. Anyone placing like third place or higher for these competitions did really well played. Did really well. It's not to say like 4th, 5th, and onwards did badly, but like you can definitely sense a level of innovation and setup crafting here. That's what we wanted. That's really what we wanted to see, was like different setups, different methods, different approaches, and we're getting that from all these players. The Awakened stuff is not part of this challenge. No, these are all regular variants. The Awakened stuff would, I think the Awakened stuff would have probably limited the amount of players who could have really attempted it. And the idea for this was to give as many players as possible the chance to compete. Give it a go. The Awakened stuff right now costs a lot of money as well. It's 3 to 4 million GP per orb, so that again limits the amount of players who would want to do it. I also like these a lot more than the speed content. Speed stuff is... It's not to say that there is no RNG involved in these, but the RNG is very limited. This mostly goes down to playing well, and as you guys saw, like even the run with 3 rubies, nearly 4 rubies in 18 shots, I think it might have been Ali's run. Like even that, if you use ruby bolts, if you use Addy crossbow, you're still not going to place in the top 3, 4, 5. Well, top 3 at least for this challenge, purely because it costs too much. So some of the cool tech like ruby bolts just get nulled. Which is kind of the point of this, I guess, really. Good, though. Yeah, Chris did an Awakened one. We showcased that at the start. And he got rewarded with a Virtus top, so... Chris is the real winner here. Didn't place 3rd or 2nd or 1st, but still makes more than 3rd place, I believe. Was it a Virtus top? I don't know what he got. Was it Virtus? It wasn't Virtus hat. It might have been Virtus bottoms. Poor Virtus set is going down in price now. Skirt, right. It was like 25 mil or 35 mil. Leopard here still has to use his recoil, unless it's not broken yet. And he's still got 6 curries or 6 stews left to be used. So he did this with pretty good RNG from the Salamander, it seems. Got through this kill in a very good time. A lot of damage coming in there. I don't know if that was an axe, actually. He might have taken an axe, but it was high enough HP, so well played. Top's up to 52. Yeah, top's useful. One more hit here, Vardorvis, 3 HP. Recoil does something, and the Salamander takes it down. Beautiful kill. There we are. Adamantite ore, 45 adamantite ore, 5-minute kill duration, and he's only done 62 kills at Vardorvis. So he's playing really well for the amount of KC that he's got as well. And again, that was a 14,000 and about 300 GP kill. So let's have a look at the final scoreboards for Vardorvis. There we are. Big clap. Congrats to all the players doing for Vardorvis. Thank you for the submissions. And that was the first of 4 bosses. So, Ali Panda, 73k. Bavaro, 36. Likes 29. Kirby's is 17k, not 28. Got the wrong run, but still second. And Abyss Leopard taking it home with just under 15k. Congrats to everyone on the list. Nicely done, nicely done. Right, for those wondering on the rules of the challenge, this is what it is. And I'm going to take a second now to get set up with the remainder of the runs. So I'm going to get out, and we're going to be doing Duke next. I'll make sure I get the right one. Duke. Oh, Duke is fun. I got to get up an extra run for Duke. We're doing 6 runs at Duke, not just 5. And you guys will see why. Actually, I don't have to get one up. I recorded one of the runs at Duke, and I made a video out of it. I made a separate video for a particular Duke submission. It was that good. What you are? The person who submitted knows. I'm gonna go find it now. Okay. Okay. Before we jump into the actual Duke stuff, well, okay. Well, give me a second. I'm still gonna get the other stuff up. I've got to get it up on my own VLC. I can't do it on YouTube. It's not uploaded. Cheap. You guys already know. Okay. Let's get the next one up. Dookie. Last one. It's the second. The third. Fourth. And the fifth. Oh, hear the sound on that at the end? Okay, I've got all 5 Duke runs up and ready. Let me load this up for you guys. So first up, the Duke honorable mentions for those who participated in the competition. These are the honorable mentions for Duke. So thank you to everyone who submitted. These did not make it into the final one. These are not top 5. And we are starting Genxi, 75k. Congrats on the sub 100k to start us off. Sax with the 48k taking us under 50k. Dodo with the sub 25k with a recoil next to the side of it. Dodo was the only person in this competition to truly go for a recoil strat. Virtus with an 18k under 20 and Brad under 10k. And 10k was not enough to take home 5th place. Not even 5th place, let alone prize money. So considering that the best run at Vardorvis was just under 15k, 6th place was well under that. So this is already super competitive at Duke, and this was one of the most run ones alongside Leviathan. But first of all, guys, I want to show you Dodo Kip G's recoil run, assuming I can set this up. Damn it. Okay, I need to... Does this work? Work, please. Here we go. Right, this is Dodo's run. And I have sped this up. Would you guys like to guess how much I've sped this up by? Would you guys like to take a guess on how much I've sped this up? 8x? 8x. Come on. Only 8x. 30x, 64x. Okay, I think I put this to 300% and 4 times speed. This is a 12x, I believe. I think this is 12x. This is the Dodo Kipchi world record any percent recoil mostly Duke budget DT2 run. Please enjoy. This is a 12x speed run, and this is a 5-minute long video. Dodo must have gone legitimately insane doing this. He was in my DMs like, I've got another run for you, I've got another run for you. No one's gonna beat this. I found some insane tech. Dodo, bro, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He is the fastest player in the history of the game. 12x speed. I think this is 12x. Look at those flicks. Recoil on screen. The cabbages are out. I think this is like 8, 9 recoils. Something insane. He's also punching. He's doing damage with his fists. With his very, very particular cursor. The RTG cursor, I believe. And he's making use of both recoils and ancient brews. The ancient brews are... I think they're ancient brews. I don't know what the hell they are. Are they ancient brews? These things are presumably just giving him prayer back and... for a cheap amount, I guess. That's what it is. Using Mithril Dagger Poisoned. Because you can poison Duke. And this is just pretty much the pinnacle of gaming at Duke. You can just stand still next to the pillar, and it will recoil Duke to death. Now, you can't quite see it all the time, but when he does attack Duke, it shows the bar. Duke is about 30% right now. So this whole kill, I think, was something like 30 minutes long. Something like 30 minutes long. And this Dodo, tell us, was this the only attempt you did, or did you do other attempts? How much time did you spend at Duke total, if you know? bronze jabs, we'll see. Is this a perfect kill? This took 4 hours. There we go. 4 hours of his time. Absolute dedication. Yeah, I've not seen anything quite like this for a budget run in a long time. So yeah, this is because I mean, if you die, you die, right? And Dodo's died more than once doing this, so had to give it a go. 4 hours, not even top 5. Well, it's a good thing this wasn't a competition for the longest kill, otherwise Dodo would have won. Surely this got first place. This is like the most honorable mention. This is the most honorable kill. Duke killed himself. Dodo just sat there and Duke killed himself. This is the most honorable, most talented kill. Oh god, okay, let me go to the end. Wait, what? Is that another kill? Oh, I must have like double sped it up. Okay, I don't see if I can find the end here. That's why it's 5 minutes. I thought it was longer. It was a 30-minute thing. Yeah, this is 12x. Finish him off. There we go. We paused it. 28 minutes in the chat box down below. 28 minutes, 51 seconds, and 0.6 seconds. For a total profit of around about... well, how much was this? I don't even see. This cost 25k to do with Dodo recoils, and he received 46k, so he's nearly doubled his bank. Can we get a quick hand together for Dodo? Congratulations on one of the most intense and strange kills I've ever seen of any boss. Good effort, mate. This was 7th place overall, but honestly, like, the effort gone in, well played. Very fun to watch. Right. Back to Duke. These are our honorable mentions. Dodo is sitting there on 8th place overall, with the only recoil kill for Duke. Now, the others might have made use of recoils, but not, like, fully. This was just something else entirely. Perfect kill to actual gaming? Yeah. Fancy that. Right, we are moving into the first of the 5 to place. Gotta make sure I've got the right people. Okay. Let's move in. Oh. Am I trolling? Give me seconds. I don't know why my thing has worked. Please work. Technical difficulties, please stand by. My DT screen is not working very well. How about you just load? Bear with. There we go. Alright, fantastic. Okay. We're back. This run is, and bear in mind, this run does have a dragon pickaxe, but because the pickaxe only speeds up the kill a little bit, I decided it was like completely fine. The pickaxe does not count. You're not meant to have it, but it doesn't impact the overall kill or anything in any meaningful way, so it's okay. This run was from Zengasm, and the budget was 7,600 GP. So all the other items are perfectly legal. Again, probably shouldn't have the pickaxe, but it's not a big deal. And this did not place in the top 5, so I decided it was okay to showcase, and all fair game. In hindsight, I think I would have allowed people to use dragon pickaxes if they wanted to, and maybe that's something for the future if we do anything else. But this is completely fine, this is okay. And he is on a timer. System update is in 23 minutes. So if you are Dodo and you are attempting this challenge, you would not be able to do this. And this kill is just under 5 minutes, so we will show it all as well. And we are opting immediately here for the Black Salamander technology. As it turns out, Black Salamander is just a really, really good budget weapon. It's about the best budget weapon you can get for a lot of these bosses, and the fact that it's slash-based makes it that much better. A little bit of tick manipulation here, very nice. Look at that top up there, 32 million farming XP. I hope you got the pet, bro. System update on a Sunday, incredible. I know this, like, a lot of the screen over here is blank. This is the size of the client and the recording. Yeah, this is already under 10k, which is extremely good. So in total for Duke, there were 6 submissions under 10k. And they do get progressively better to a significant margin. Got the pet at 31 million. Congrats, mate. Starting off here with a bit of damage from melee. Got to find ourselves with the cycle, and we'll be good to go. So, Slash Salamander here, same principle as I think pretty much all the players did for Duke. And a bit like how the Vardorvis ones got better and better, this is also one where the better you play, the less damage you take, the more ticks you upkeep, making sure there's like minimal upgrades to set up, better food, better choices of gear. That's really what this came down to for the most part. Black Sally switch, yeah. Part of me thinks that maybe bringing like a Bronze Dagger poisoned or something would be very good. And I'm not really sure, because I know you can poison Duke, I'm just not sure if it's really worth the budget. But I know some players definitely did try to poison him. Sally is Slash. I think Sally is Slash, yeah. Poisoned Tartek is actually 5-head, yeah. You don't need, I guess you don't need Dagger if you have Poison Tar, yeah. Basically a Dragon Longsword for 300 GP, yeah. And I guess the big reason is because the Dragon Longsword is tier 60 and requires a quest, but this is like tier 70 stuff and imbalanced as hell. So Duke is already half HP. These kills are pretty quick. This is only a, yeah, again, just under 5-minute kill, and that's including the prep time. Really remarkable what it can do. The Swamp Lizard's poisoning? Yeah. I didn't even know that myself. But Poison Duke definitely deals maybe 30, 40, 50 HP across the kill, and it's just about whether or not that little bit more inventory price is worth the damage. The real tech would be to bring a Karambwam and a spear and a log and make your own poison after doing the price check. Yeah, you could do it if you could light the fire and poison it or anything like that. You got a Pestle Immortal already, so potentially. Oh, good redemption there on the 10. Dude, I didn't know Duke could hit 10s. Duke can hit 10s? Wow. Oh, I guess it can hit 10s if you take off your prayer. So as long as you're careful with the timing, it's okay. 10 max off prayer, 10 max off prayer, 10-5 on prayer. Right. So the redemptions are definitely controllable, and right now he's gonna I guess you're gonna take like up until you're 16 HP. It's like okay to do so, right? If you hit 16 HP, now you have to redempt. This is once again utilizing the Zamorak Bruise for the prayer. Oh, I thought he was going to get mage there for a second. Duke on 24 HP. He is now one-shottable by the lizard. Come on, lizard. Big up on the Sally. Not greeting any hits. Very nice. I'll get you in a bit, Scotty. At the end of today, I can be around. And there's the kill. Alright. Zengasm with a 200 air rune drop. Unfortunately, one of the few players to not profit from his kill. But with a 4-minute kill, and that was 7,300 GP. Very well played indeed. Putting him on the scoreboard for Duke. There we are, the first position. 4 more to go. Can we get faster from here? Speed, it was a fast kill too. How can we get lower from here? So next up, we have Norse Code. Norse Code is also going to be using Black Salamander, as is pretty much everyone here. And this GP kill was about 6,200. So let's see how he does it. Opting for recoils, opting for meat pies, I think. I'm not sure what kind of pie. Apple pies, there we go. Not even meat pies, they're just apple pies. The house teleports, of course, won't count towards this challenge, but the rest of it will. And apple pie is turning out to be the best food at Duke. Who would have thought? What's the rank 1 prize? So each boss, the whole competition is 1 billion GP, split between each boss 250. It goes 150 first place, 75 second place, and 25 third place. The top 5 runs are streamed. So unfortunately, 4th and 5th will not be taking anything away except the clout, I guess. And then there is honorable mentions for anyone who submitted anything at all. Oh man, don't we just love Duke Prep? Opting to crush his second mushroom before he even goes for the other side. This is very inefficient, if you ask me. Ooh. No, hey, it's happened! 16 HP, you cannot get back. I was hoping someone would get hit at some point. What do you mean question mark, bro? That was on you. That was entirely on you. Don't roast the prep? We'll see, we'll see. They could go lower by using the... They could lower GP used by bringing Zamorak brew ingredients instead of the brew itself. Potentially, yeah. You might only get 3-dose potions though, so it may not be as good. But yeah. Non-tick manipper, unbelievable. Hello, Omelette. Thank you again for funding some of this competition. Zamorak brews use torstals, very expensive to make, are they? So actually you might not be able to profit from that, or you might not be able to lower the budget. Right, let's begin. This kill is just under 6.5k, so an improvement of around about 1k GP from the other one. Those apple pies go hard, bro. 86 GP per pie. 86 GP per pie. So I'm not actually sure where the majority of the money is going here. I'm guessing the recoils are a decent amount each. Why does this run 6k? I mean, and, you know, it adds up, but I guess the pies are like 2k each. Or like, sorry, 2k total. The recoils and the Zami brew like another k. The Sally's like 300. The Monk's robes, all that stuff. Maybe the tar is actually the more expensive part here. Not really sure. Could save about 120 GP per recoil ring by imbuing them. You can do that. You can imbue recoils? I'm learning so much stuff today. It's really interesting because every time when we do something like this, there's always little things you just have no clue about. Wait, you can actually imbue recoils? I think they wouldn't be tradable if you did that. You might not be able to trade them, which means they would not be allowed. But if you did it in the room, then maybe. Surely that's... Is that just meme? I have no clue, man. Enchant, not imbue. You can enchant recoils? I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh, sorry, I understand. You mean like from the base jewelry? Okay, never mind. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Okay. Bit slow today. Okay. Yeah, I mean potentially, yeah, but yeah, I guess. But then you'd have to. Oh, maybe. I don't know if anyone here enchanted their own recoils. Would have been a really funny thing to see. I think the submission had 95 out of 91 prayer at the start. Is that acceptable? He probably had a sip of Zami brew at some point. As long as it's not like a clear violation, like attempting to cheese it, I think it's okay. And I'm going to say that if it's like 99 prayer, that's pretty fair since everyone going for the challenge would have 99 anyway. So I'm not going to discount the prayer for just being a little bit above. If it was boosted to like 130, that would be a bit more like, okay, you know, you're doing something wrong. But if it's just a couple of prayer points and he's not 99, that's fine, I think. Probably a future rule is like if you don't have 99 HP or if you don't have 99 whatever stat, I would probably allow people to boost it anyway. Would make sense to me. Jmod's watching this, deciding which boss to give a salamander kill CA2 next month. I have no doubt we're going to see some salamander kills. No doubt at all. I guess the nice thing about eating pies all the time is that even when Duke is damaging you on the side, you're still recoiling some. We're going to see some salamander budgets for sure. Most curious about Whisperer, did some DPS calcs. Whisperer, in my opinion, out of this competition, has the most interesting tech. And it has the most interesting level of approach from different players. And it's a shame because there were only 5 Whisperer submissions. There were only 5 Whisperer submissions. So there were enough submissions to get onto the scoreboard. But I don't get to do any honorable mentions or anything. And it's understandable because it's the most annoying boss to go for. Both Duke and Leviathan and Vardy felt like bosses you could probably get away with doing stuff, but you're kind of locked to a higher GP. You're locked to a higher GP when you go to Whisperer because of the nature of the fight. Top 5 Wisp? Everyone who submitted is top 5 Wisp. If one of the 5 used max gear, they'd be top 5. Yep. I did try and push people to submit for more Wisp, but it's just not a very fun fight, I guess. But someone could have run in with literally an inventory of like 25 billion GP and be top 5. Well, they would have been the 6th player, but yeah. Would have been funny though. This is why, guys, if you see these competitions, just send a run. You never know if you're going to place. Try and do the thing that you might not enjoy so much. Try and do the one where you think people won't go for, like Wisp, and you have a pretty good chance of making it in the money. didn't want to think about trying Wisp budget. Yeah, that's what most people thought. Both Leviathan, I think Leviathan was the most submitted. And understandably, because it's probably the most fun. Like, players have the most enjoyment out of Leviathan. Players have probably done more Leviathan than Whisper on average, so made all that sense, you know. Still tricky though. Right, Apple Pie is continuing to help out. How long is this kill? 10-minute kill, so quite a long one. We're going to give him 3 more minutes to finish up it. He's got the unholy symbol on instead of the holy symbol. With the monk's robes. What a heathen. Was expecting melee bosses to be most popular. I was expecting Leviathan and then Duke. So I kind of expected this. I was thinking maybe Duke will be even more because it's fairly simple to kill. But Duke has definitely got one of the lowest budget runs. I mean, we're already 6.5k in. And this is rank 4? This is rank 4. So there are 3 more that do even better than this. Unholy gives attack stats. Today I learned. Did Molgoat manage Black Sally Vardy? Kirby placed 2nd for Vardorvis with a total kill of 17k. First place was about 14k. So he got 2nd, which was really good. Any way to speed these up? Yeah, I've been speeding up some of the runs, but for Duke I will speed them up if they take a long time. This one I'm just going to let it play out because we're nearly there. I don't know what the Sally hits on this. I guess we were seeing like 34s and 36s on Vardy, depending on potion. A lot of these times you can kill Duke in 3 hits from where he is right now. We'll notice for this kill, there are about 10, 11 apple pies left. Plus there was like 2 mistakes at the start, costing about 30 HP. So this kind of run can certainly be optimized purely by the amount of food and damage taken. Some of that we're going to see in the later runs, I'm sure. Perhaps there are better types of food than apple pies. I'd like to see an expansion or for them to improve salamanders. Be nice to see them relevant. Yeah, I mean, they're relevant for this kind of thing. It's just no one actually plays with Black Sally, right? It's apple pie chugging time. Last dose of the prayer potion goes in. No prayer remaining. 35 points left. Duke is on 33. Salamander just needs to hit 2 more times. Black Sally Biss Ragging Web, yeah. Good for budget challenges. Good for ragging people. 26 max hit right now. All the strength has gone. All the strength boost has gone. Black Sally Barrows is very fun as well. Not as good as a pet. What, a ragging weapon? Alright, there we go. Pretty long kill. Just under 10 minutes from Norse code. Placing in 4th, I believe, for Duke. Here's what it looks like. 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place yet to go. Let's load it up. Gonna get back to fishing some... I caught 2 more anglers, by the way. Thank goodness I caught 2 more anglers. Right, 3rd place is from Lextash, and this is where we're going to see a big jump in the budget. Prepare yourselves. Whoa. It's wine time! So Lextash over here using wines to greatly reduce the cost of all of the food. And this budget, as you guys are going to see, is around about 3k. Around about 3k. Check this out. 1.7k, the wines being one of the cheapest foods in the game. One of the cheapest foods in the game. Also opting for the unholy symbol. And price checking the rest of the stuff here. Black Sally all the tar. 1.3k there, so a total of 3,035 GP for this kill. Incredibly low, incredibly low. What is that cursor? Yeah, there's some questionable cursors and plugin choices across the entirety of this. And I don't even want to know what the left side of that is. It's time to drink some good old water. That looks like a hydration thing Bro, you're out here doing a challenge. You need to hydrate. You need to drink. Attack potion is 5 GP. Yep. So this run is extremely well optimized in terms of the supplies, and that's the big difference in this one from the other runs, making sure that the cost of food is kept massively down by the wines. Practically the cheapest and most efficient food in the game, although it does reduce, I believe, your ranging stat or something. Maybe it reduces your melees. I have no clue. Maybe the attack potions counter it. I can't remember, to be totally honest. Inventory tags on mushroom, and he's got the rainbow plugin on the ground. Turns out, the more plugins you have on, the better your budget kill. Honestly, if you didn't submit with this on, what are you doing? Oh god, the cursor trail is doing my bloody eyes in though. Right, this is a 10-minute kill, so I'm going to put it on 1.5x. And we'll go from there. I might speed it up or slow it down depending on where we get to. This is triggering. Unfortunately, he's just a better player than all of you because he is rank 3 at Duke for budget. And you cannot take that away from him. I do feel like I'm playing Osu or something. Right, here we go. Opting for the same setup yet again, and an extremely well crafted inventory to make the difference. Lextash with his 3000 GP budget. I'd take that cursor away from him if I could. You can take away his plugins, but they will still be ingrained in your mind forever. Cursor is plus 5k. You know what? That's a really interesting idea for a challenge. What if you assign a budget to plugins, and players can choose to use plugins for, like, maybe not a budget Duke or Vardorvis or something, but, like, you know, maybe do a fight cave, or not, I don't know, maybe like do a particular boss, or like do some bossing, and like you can add plugins on for GP and see how many you can take away before they're just like, you know what, fuck it, I'll pay for this plugin. Max of 5 you can choose. It's an interesting idea. I don't think there's many plugins here. I mean, obviously the tile markers are useful, but I will argue there's not really any plugins here that help the player actually sort of do this correctly. It's just unlike Vardorvis, where the plugins for the tile markers in particular, they help you very accurately dodge axes. That helps a lot. Might as well do combat levels if it costs to. Combat levels. Yeah, there's been a few challenges from Sir Pugger in the past where people have had to make new accounts to do stuff, which is always interesting, but combat levels being the focus is interesting for sure.
Nice! Fucking bananas!
Sam, good morning! Thank you for the raid, welcome, welcome. You missed them? Yeah, they were fun. I don't know why he stopped, really. Obviously it was like a huge amount of money to finance them, like the prizes for those were really big, so he had to rely on the YouTube money from each video to keep funding them. But yeah, they were very fun to do. What if there were debuff plugins? I mean, if you give players a set setup, then you can always say that each debuff could, like, give you a point or something, right? There's ways to make it so that players apply or reduce debuffs at a price cost. You give them a set setup, like a mid-level setup, and say, like, you can have this item, but it will cost you 5 points, or you can take away an item and replace it with something else cheaper for a different cost. Ideas for future competitions, you know? Ideas for future comps. I'm definitely going to run some more of these, and at the end of this comp today, I've got 3 more challenges that players might be interested in, albeit harder ones, but there are 3 more. So keep your eyes peeled at the end if you're interested in some super high-level stuff. Anyone's game, though. Just got to try it out. I think all 3 of the challenges will have some really, really good submissions, though, by the end of the week, to be honest. I expect the hardest one to actually be completed first, too. Salamander Inferno? Yeah, if I could throw my Salamander at Zuck, maybe. Maybe. Duke here just under 150 HP. Lextash making short work of him. Living life on the edge with his 13 HP. These wines are not a big heal at all. only like 9 HP or something? Barely anything. 11 HP maybe? I don't remember. Making sure to use those attack potions. We need a new golden salamander with attack range. I think both chin chompers and salamanders are like relics of Hunter that have places in the game, obviously chins more so. But they're both like very highly imbalanced. Black chins are so strong, even if they have some pretty high requirements. These days they're not that crazy. But they just hit so hard. They're just unparalleled for challenges like this. And as well as maybe like some super budget stuff. And then chin chompers are like too powerful for the level you get them at, right? Black chins are accessible at level 65 range, which is kind of ridiculous considering how good they are. I've been asking for like granite chins for ages, like grotesque guardian dust to drop from regular gargoyles at a lower rate or something, and make granite chins. You coat your black chin in granite dust, increasing the explosive power, adding shrapnel, some bullshit like that, you know? Sounds like you could make a reasonable case for it and also give granite dust a use. Yeah, it's sped up 1.5 times because this kill is really long, and I don't want to keep people watching the same thing for 2 years. As we get to the end, I will slow it back down there. Back to regular pace, 16 HP Duke. His prayer is nearly out. We are on 0 prayer points. Duke can now chip 10s. There's an 8 from Duke, 25 HP, 14 left. Goes to show how close this one was on prayer. 9 HP taken damage, 27 HP, 38. 100% of the food has been... Oh no, he's got 1 wine left, I think. There's the Duke kill. A 949, just under 10 minutes again for 216 coal. That's a 34 KGP drop. About 10 times the drop value of the amount he's using. Very nicely done. Lextash has taken home 3rd place at Duke. Oh, actually, I need to... I can't tell which one of these is 3rd place. Click the button. Is it right? It is. I've got so many buttons on my stream deck, you would not believe it. Lextash taking home 3rd place with the 3 KGP, well, halving Norse Code's 6k run. So very well played, and that is 25 million GP that you have earned. Moving on to rank 2. Rank 2 is from Voided Death and is also just under 3k. So this was a very close one, barely any difference at all. Here we go. On the widescreen, full screen gamer plugin. Not plugin, PC thing. I think this is full screen, right? It looks like it. Bro. Turns out, if you play on full screen, firstly, you have a really lovely cinematic view. This looks lovely on stream, I think. I feel like I'm at a cinema. So maybe this is the benefit of full screen. You are both wide and you give a lovely... Oh, there's a death thing there. Bro has definitely died a few times. So this is our 2nd place Duke run. And this is for... Oh my god, the pathing plugin! The pathing plugin is insane, what the hell. And we are also opting for a practically identical setup with Wine's attack potions, and he's got a recoil this time. Wine's attack potions recoil, pretty much the same stuff that he's wearing, and I guess the only difference is going to be just minor supply differences, minor supply costs. That pathing thing is hideous! It's GE's plugin, yeah. Right, let me speed this up. This is a 11-minute kill. I'm going to put this on 1.5x as well. Here we go. Bro, you recorded this in... Holy shit! 2160p 4K quality, 60 FPS! We're at the theater, lads. You guys gonna strap in for a movie? You guys went to watch Oppenheimer and Barbie? No. This Duke kill is the new movie on the blocks. We're at the box office now. You guys got your 3D glasses on? Duke is in 3D. He is uglier than ever before. You can fight Duke in 3D. All we need now is like the 117 plugin. Let me make some popcorn. I have some popcorn in the cupboard. We can make some. I mean, strap in for about 8 minutes of Duke. I'm just saying. Right, here we go. It's dodging time. He's not willing to take any vent damage at all. Vent damage is not going to cut it. First dose of attack potion, and the fight is on. I don't know if there's sounds for this. Don't think so. Okay. Cinematic view, dude. You are literally like watching this in cinema, 3D, IMAX, 2140, 60 FPS. Probably used a slow motion camera to capture this footage. This is this run has the award for the nicest looking run on YouTube in this format. What in the IMAX is this? Yeah. You've never seen Duke this ugly before. Presenting Duke 2 Salamander Edition. You wanted to watch Duke Nukem, the new movie? You have Duke Suculus instead. Someone posted a screenshot. I don't know if it was like known in the old school community, but in RS3 there's like a Duke thing. And Duke is absolutely British. He has like a British accent or something. Someone posted the picture the other day. I thought it was just a joke that Duke was British. No, he actually is. Like, actually is. I guess we knew all along, really. Or at least the RS3 people knew. Anyway. This is the second place Duke kill. Makes you wonder, what's first? How can the setup be improved from this? What setup could you possibly bring that would be even better? Oh, we have frozen. We have frozen. I repeat, the run is splicing. We are loading. My internet cannot handle the 2160p. We're going to reduce it to 1080, and we're good. An even wider monitor. More pixels, more length, more wide. Is this a curved monitor? I don't really know. It's just big. It's just really big. YouTube got hit by the Duke Eye special. Transcending time and reality and everything else. Bro, how does Duke eat food? How does he eat food? If his eye is in his mouth, unless that's his tongue. He's got an eye-shaped tongue, maybe. I guess he's got a lot of eyes. Looks like your monitor is 3840 1080, 32 to 9. Bloody hell. This man is not only doing Duke in the second best budget, he's also flexing his setup. Maybe it's the case that you need a good PC and a good monitor to be able to do high budget challenges, which is why you guys should look at Apex Gaming PCs in the command. And buy a really good working PC so you too can compete at this level. Don't forget to attach a monitor that's like 3K as well. It will definitely help you. He has 50 mouths. He eats from somewhere. Insane plug. Only the best. Shameless? Absolutely. Buy PCs. They're very good. Also, you'll support me. And I'll run even more budget stuff and or just challenges. Did you guys know that these things on the wall, these like, I don't know what they're called, not extrusions, like I don't know, appendages from Duke. These things are meant to be Duke as well. These things on the wall are all meant to be Duke. Poor guy is like the entire room. Extremities, yeah. Tumors? I'm pretty sure the entirety of Duke is a tumor, but yeah. He is the biggest boss in RuneScape. Unironically, Duke is the largest boss. Unless you want to count Leviathan, because Leviathan has like, his snaky body runs out throughout the entire lake. So potentially Duke or Leviathan are now contenders for the largest NPCs. Sire is also very larger. It's very, very similar to Sire in terms of layout, actually. Duke is like a P2 Verzik Sire hybrid. It's quite interesting. You got young kids, gotta run the laptop where you can put it out of reach. Respectable. Widest boss is Duke, longest boss is Levi. Yeah. Olm is very large, but Olm is not as large as Duke. Olm might be a pretty tall boss. I think Olm might be the tallest boss. I don't really know. I have a feeling that Olm is the tallest boss. He is just very big. And now we know his like size from his pet. You know that he's a big boy. I think Olm has to be the tallest. Duke is the widest. Leviathan is now the longest. They can't add more mech sits than Zuck anymore, so we only have completely random categories of boss. They don't go to make scary bosses anymore, they just make wide bosses. That was a 26 hit from the melee. Luckily, Voided is plentiful HP at 52. He only has 1 wine left right now, a singular wine, which is now gone, so he's out of food. 81 HP left from Duke. Let's see the salamander, bring it home. I'm gonna make it normal pace again, here we go. Enjoy your last 2 minutes of IMAX 2180 billion 4K res. Would I like to see a physically larger boss? I think so. I think physically large bosses, you know, like some games they have you like climb on the back of bosses and fight. You get a serious feeling of scale, but it's just very hard to do in old school. It's just very hard to do in old school. Like the biggest thing they can make, I believe, is like the pyramid, the necropolis, the pyramid there for Raids 3. That's like one of the biggest things they can make in the game in terms of scale. Purely because if you do anything larger, it just renders fuckingly weird. But yeah. Duke's bigger than the whole room you fight him in, so I imagine he's probably tall as hell too. Potentially, yeah. Duke could be very tall. Depends where the bottom starts, yeah. Interestingly, it was one of our super early ideas for Leviathan. For the arena to be its back, and for the fight to be elements of it like lurid eyes. That's really cool that it's being considered. Okay, Voided Death taking home second place with a 2,898 GP budget, and receiving coal yet again. So congrats on the 10x bank value from the kill. Very good submission. Let's have a look at the standings for Duke. First place yet to go. And both second and third place are within like a couple hundred GP of each other. So any guesses what the first place GP budget is going to be, guys? Any guesses? Place your guesses now. What are we thinking? 600? 1k? 700? 73 GP? 2,468?
You make a mean pizza with those arms.
Protec, thank you for the prime, my friend. Oh. You guys are actually not close. You guys are surprisingly not close. Well, I mean, a few of you guys know that. A few of you guys know. You guys are not close. Prepare yourselves. This is the Emonc 372 GP kill. Tunes, but I'm going to pause it and play my own stuff. I do love that tune. I listened to the entire thing when I watched this. It was crazy. So this is a 372 GP kill. I've definitely got the numbers busted because I added the salamanders on for myself, but yeah. He's also opting to go for 3 mushrooms. This is incredibly interesting tech. It's only what you get from a non-maxed player. 92 prayer as well. Team competing without anything close to max stats and still crushing everyone by a margin. Inventory tags for the wines. Bro, he's rank 1. Who are you to dispute rank 1? But yeah, this is I will say right now, this is the lowest budget in the competition for anything. And it's just because Duke is, you know, you can't really go that low for the other bosses, but for Duke you can. This is ridiculous. I didn't think anyone would not be using Black Salamander. I didn't expect it to be this low. I thought players would get to maybe like 1.5k when I was thinking about strats and whatnot. I didn't really think it would go below it. But it turns out, if you hit well, you do a couple runs, you play well and you flick like this, you know, he's taking his time to make sure he gets the melee flicks in, just everything done really, really well. You take little damage, you deal a lot, and your Salamander can just carry you. You just got to do the runs. Motherfucking orange Salamander technology, 372 GP. This run is a 11-minute kill. I'm not going to speed it up because we should all be watching this. Taking notes for the future. Actually crazy. It's, you know, not even Red Sally. I think Red Sally is higher, I think. I don't even know. Just madness. Now, I do think you have to have good flicks here. I think you have to... He's flicking the melee prey, turning it off and getting the piety on. He's making sure to flick as much as possible. Got the same setup in terms of the wines and the attack potions. As we know, attack potions are like practically nothing. Wines are practically nothing as well. Red Sally is cheaper, right? Oh, it is Red Sally, is it? I thought it was Orange Sally, right? Red Salamander tech. I guess you can't like use orange salamanders. It's green, red, and black or something. But yeah, yeah. Someone actually used Swamp Lizard tech to poison. There was a Swamp Lizard in the comp. No robes either. No. So instead of taking the monk's robes and increasing the price, he is opting simply to flick. Player skill coming out to play, and he's doing really well in terms of damage. Like the salamander is just carrying. So. I think this was not only a 372 GP kill, it was the only run of anything to get below like 1k. And this is below 400 GP. I mean, this is literally nothing, right? You could thieve a man for like 5-10 minutes or something. Maybe kill him and sell his bones on the GE, and then literally buy the setup and come and kill Duke. And outside of like maybe getting to Duke, there's nothing stopping you from doing this, which is wild to me. Not that I'd recommend this over like running into CG and making 6 mil an hour with nothing on, but pretty cool to see. Can we add a constraint next time to not allow slash-based weaponry? Yeah, if I was to do more of this stuff, I would be a bit more careful. I would actually probably ban salamanders. I would love to see what players do without them. Partially because it will make the kills more interesting in terms of time. It will probably make players think a bit more about what weaponry they could choose and really, really pack the budget in. You'd have to be aware of how much damage you took and how much supplies it took on average to complete a run. But salamanders, they're just too strong. I think I would honestly ban them. And again, we are going to be doing a trio of challenges at the end of this comp, so keep your eyes peeled. Much, much harder. Definitely some awakened stuff in there, so be aware. Duke is nearly half HP. Naheem is gaming. He's not playing on IMAX. He doesn't have 1,000 plugins for his mouse cursor. Maybe this is why he's just better. Sub 5-minute cheapest setup. Oh, setting a time limit so that you have to complete it in a certain time. That's an interesting idea. Making players forced to a certain level, yeah. Now, note that while he's playing like really well, there are definitely some times he's taking a bit more damage because he doesn't have melee prey on. That is to say that even though this setup is like absolutely cracked, you could probably improve it even more. You could improve the amount of prayer usage, although he's flicking really well. He's going to have excess prayer. But you could definitely take less wines. You could, essentially reduce the chip damage. Salamander Awakened. What's crazy is that if you wanted to do Awakened bosses, you probably could do them with a Salamander. If you had max gear and a Sally instead of like a Fang, sure, it'd be pretty tricky, but your max hit is still like 45? I don't remember what Salamander max is. It's a lot. I think it's like 45, 46. I remember running into Tecton with max gear, without Torva, bear in mind. And I don't know about nowadays, but Black Sally might be able to hit near 50. Kind of broken. You can also spam these with like half the ammo and food till you get good RNG. Yeah. If you want to really take it to the next level, you sure can. These guys did maybe 5 to 10 runs, I'd imagine, depending on the boss. The best runs like this might have taken a bit more time. But yeah. Oh, and for what it's worth, Obese Leopold, who placed first at Vardorvis, also did another run at 28k, reduced it to 17k, and then reduced it again to 14k. So it goes to show that, like, players were allowed to submit multiple times for the same boss. They could keep improving and improving. And I think the guys at the top end kept improving their runs big time. Practice pays off. Every attempt is 0 GP death fee. Yeah, yeah. The only investment for this is time. Oh, taking a mage hit there, 31 damage. I don't think it's very likely to be hit mage. I think as long as you go back in melee range relatively often, you don't get hit like that. Scary though. Got a limited amount of food here. Duke is well under halfway done though. This kill was also a, looks like 11:30 video compared to the others that were around about 10 minutes. So the price to pay for the orange salamander is the DPS trade-off. In this case going an extra 2 or 3 minutes for the actual kill itself. Well, maybe an extra 2. "41 deaths in the chat." Oh god. Yeah, we don't know how many it was total. First attack after vents is always in melee, so he could also reduce damage slightly by running into the corner after that attack every time. Yeah. Very cool to see the optimizations here. I would imagine that like the best case scenario is like a 200 to 250 GP kill, saving about 100 GP from this, give or take. Obviously that's still like crazy, but yeah. The teleport here costs more than the setup. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hell, the frickin' pestle and mortar, if it counted, would nearly be more. I don't know what they are. A couple hundred GP maybe. Invest in Sallies. I think there's not a very large supply of salamanders because no one really sells them. The most you'd ever do is get to sell the remainder of your trip. When you finish your hunter trip, you come back with an inventory and then sell them, but no one really banks salamanders, right? So it's interesting that like they're not really useful for stuff, but they'd probably never really go up in value if they became useful because they're so easy to get. Takes 4 seconds. Yeah, they're so accessible. Such a funny thing. Good for reg PK. Yeah, I think black salamanders are all right for that kind of stuff. This is tight on tar. Yeah. I don't know if we can see how much tar is left. 59 left. You can see top left up there. You can see his attack level 103. And you can also see he's got 58 tar remaining. 57. Now this Sally can deal maybe 20 damage per hit. 25 max maybe if you're lucky. That was a good hit. Another good hit there. There you go. There's like a 17 damage. Bit of damage taken though. Sally has chopped off 30 HP in about 4 hits. And that's the last of his supplies gone now. His attack stat is boosted, however. Duke is on 40 HP, which is 2 hits away from being able to be killed. 35 now. 49 tar. He will be fine on tar. Yeah, with less mistakes, bit more flicking, whatever it takes, can definitely bring it down. He's also on 8 prayer, 7 prayer, 6 prayer, 5 prayer, 4 prayer, 3 prayer, 2 prayer. 2 prayer points remain. 35 HP to get through. This salamander needs to hit. He's completely out of supplies. 30 HP. As long as he gets the kill, it's going to count, even if he dies with the kill. 18 HP left. 24 HP in 2 prayer. Duke is on 2 and he is on 14. And there's the kill. Redemption comes up at the end, but he doesn't need it. And the loot is 100 Chaos Runes. Duke was out of supplies as well, unfortunately, and he takes home first place with an incredible 372 budget kill, coming down to the wire again, about as close as it can get. So congrats on the huge bank increase, and well played on first place. That was a really cool run. These are the standings for Duke. Again, my GP add-ups are not quite right because of the salamander stuff, but they're all close enough and they're all accurate in placements. So congratulations. Very well played. It's meant to be 372. But very well played. Again, congrats to everyone on the list. Well played, well played. And we have 2 bosses left now. So we will be going to Whisperer and then to Leviathan. Give me a second to get this stuff up. Ooh, right, Whisperer had only 5 total submissions, but these are some of my favorite submissions. I think Whisperer was done very well. Everyone doing it had their own different strat. I would have definitely liked to have seen more. These are also... Whisperer was the budget. Whisperer was the one which had the highest budgets across everything, and it turns out it's just really hard to get below. It's just really hard to get below. Oh, I clicked on like the wrong one. Hang on. What? There we go. All right, I've got my 5 runs up. Let's dive into Whisperer. There is no honorable mentions for Whisperer this time around because there were only 5 submissions, so all 5 of these placed into the top 5, of course. And would you guys like to guess what we're starting on as the first submission? Amount of GP. What GP do you reckon the first kill is going to be at? 400k, 150, 120, 56, 80, 78. It's not a high number. It's still a budget run, but it's a high budget. 550, 250. Okay, you guys are roughly in the ballpark, yeah. So the first one, run in. This is going to be Panda, once again, with a 109k budget. So not quite under 100k yet, although we are going to dip under 100 eventually. And as you guys can see, he is the salad wizard. He's got leaf hat, leaf bottoms. He's got tomato shirt. And this is going to be a 13-minute kill. This is a long-ass kill. Now, Whisperer, of course, is a pretty low-damage boss. Whisperer is a fairly low-damage boss, so it's not particularly intensive other than prayer flicking. Good movement, good dodging, and then lastly, the enrage phase is the tricky part. You have to deal damage before your sanity reaches 0. You are, of course, allowed to use this black stone piece, because this is an untradeable thing, but you have to use it for the fight, and the ring doesn't count. In fact, even the TP tablet doesn't count here, although I think I added it. I just didn't notice, so there you go. Ancient Brews might have, perhaps. This is also a 13-minute kill, so I am going to play this on 1.5x speed. There are only 5 submissions total, so let's get through it. And we are going to be fire waving this. Whisperer sounds amazing on 1x5 speed. Wow, okay. Whisperer sounds great. So notice that Tome of Fire would simply be too much money to warrant for this, so Tome of Fire is not making an appearance here. Regular spellbook for the Fire Wave, since Trident would be quite expensive. And for a first attempt, I will say that even though this is 100k budget, it's still relatively low. All the people who submitted for Whisperer did try and do a pretty good job of getting way down there. It's not like we're going to go super low. We're not going to 1k with Whisperer or anything. So all of these attempts are well done. And of course, Whispers, oh god, 39 hit already. But yeah, DPS is awful. And the hard part is Enrage. Enrage is the really scary thing. This rune costs count, yes, everything counts. The cost for this is what you enter with, not what you get finished with. So whatever you choose to bring in is your total budget. Even if you bring in like 1,000 runes and only use like 200, those 800 still count. Take out Enrage and Fire Strike Wisp would be free. Potentially, yeah. First special up here, it's the Pillars. Opting to leave the Shadow Realm immediately. He's also got massive Fire Surge up, which is great. Considering how much you have to like cast this, I understand completely having super large one up. He's also running Bind here, although it is possible to... Oh, he did get it. I didn't think it would be very accurate, but I guess Bind is useful. There's an 11 from Fire... Is that Fire Wave? I'm wondering what the max hit is here. I would have thought the max hit would be in the 20s or the 30s. There's a 14. Fire Surge, sorry, yeah, Fire Surge. Max is 24, there we go. 24 max hit. I think nowadays we look at stuff like Shadow, and Shadow just goes and hits like 65, or some crazy number like 66, 68 even on Whisperer. And you forget how bad the regular spellbook stuff is. The fact that if you really want to use stuff like Fire Surge or any fire spell, you have to have a Tome of Fire, or it just really isn't that good. 24 max hit for a level like 90 spell or something. throw in Enrage by missing a small surge. Yep, that's all it takes. If he did it in PvP worlds, could he use the sags? I don't know. I don't know if you can use it on an NPC. Maybe. Home of Fire and all the gear, yeah. Some gear will increase the max, I guess, but not a whole lot. So we're opting with Rune Throne X technology to deal with the ghosts, taking out 3 sets total. Very innovative strategy. And coming back in here with the bind also hitting again. Feels like it's pretty accurate. There's the 24 max hit. I'm a big fan of the Throne X's though. Not many people ever used to do them. If you're doing like proper kills on the main account, you wouldn't really ever bring it over a Venator bow or a blowpipe. But in a challenge like this, actually very good. Never missed a bind, but seemed to have a delay to cast. Yeah, you might have had to like wait a second for it. Pretty sure any immobilizing spell can't splash. Early on with Whisperer, on the Arceus spellbook, Undead Grasp would splash. And I don't know if they changed it to be consistent now, but it used to. I've never seen anyone entangle Whisperer though, so I never knew about entangle, but it looks like it's not a splash. Does it splash or miss the 50% bind rate? I have no clue. I thought Undead Grasp just was like meant to, but if it's not guaranteed, then that's completely fair. It's good that regular spellbook works though. Would you ever grind out Venator before starting? It will help you, but it doesn't really save that much time. But Venator is like fun to use, Musper gives some good stuff, so I guess if you want to treat it as part of your progression, maybe. Into the orbs, the next special. When I do this on the main account, it takes around 1 minute, just under 2 minutes a kill, or like, no, not under 2, about 2 minutes 20 seconds on the main account. So it's really funny not seeing the specials for ages and ages and then coming back up. This is the phase before Enrage. Whisperer is changing his attack style, so it's alternating between the 2 styles. And the main thing to look at here is that when we enter Enrage, the sanity on the top left of the screen is going to start decreasing, and if it hits 0, you're going to die. So all the contestants need to make sure that their damage is very good in the Enrage phase, and that they don't get hit during any of the Enrage attacks, as getting hit's going to drain their sanity even more. Another 200 HP to go before we enter the final phase. Prayer is looking quite good at level, well, 70 prayer remaining. And he is, of course, flicking perfectly well. Food is down to 3 sharks and 2 Karamba. He still has a full prayer pot and a magic potion. So I don't think he'll struggle too much. Again, I haven't really seen any of these runs yet. All I did is check the budget. So I have no clue how close the Enrage is actually going to be. This does take a tremendous amount of time though. You guys know the accuracy on this setup? It looks like it's maybe 40%? 30-40%? This is a tremendous amount of runes wasted for splashing. And not much you can do about it either. $100 HP to go. A 2. Man, you see the XP drop and you're like, I hope it's big. Nope, still a 2. Tried this with Monk's Robes and this shit changed to Salad. Yeah, so the accuracy really matters. I wonder how many players used anything other than this. I need to close our window for a second, it's getting really breezy.
We'll close that for now.
Okay. 70 HP Whisperer, come on Fire Surge, you can do it! Negative 20 sanity, luckily it's going to regain in the overworld. Until we get into the Enrage, it should be okay. This is regular, yeah. Does a Salamander work at Whisperer with the magic option? Yes, but you have to be in melee range of Whisperer to use Salamander. And so it's a little bit scary. I'm going to change this to 1 speed now. Let's watch the Enrage. Let's see how this goes. So he does start it with 100 sanity, I hope. Whisperer at 24 HP is now within one-shot time, one-shot HP. Big hit, 23. Whisperer now 1 HP. Plenty of food and prayer. Always taking damage right before it starts. Luckily, no sanity drain. And we are 140 HP into this end part with 90 sanity starting us off. This is where it gets really tricky. 85 sanity. Whisperer is still 140 HP. It took nearly 3 minutes to get him down from 200. This looks like a cold one strat. Most notably, run around like a monkey. There's a 23. Into a 13. Into another 13. Into the 22. Taking a hit though. Gotta get those prez right. There's 2 more hits taken. Sanity 26. Whisperer 60. Cannot afford to take any more hits now. Sanity approaching 20. There's a 23 from the Surge. A 17 from the Surge, and Sanity is approaching 10%. Another 20 from the Fire. Finishing up here with 8% Sanity. 8% Sanity! For the 11k in Ruby bolts. Runite bolts. Very, very scary. And as you can see, this is more or less the tricky part of the run. Got to play well the entire time, not use all your supplies, and then the end is very scary. This is rank 5. And so we got to have a look going forwards. This is what we're starting on. Ali taking us off with just over 100k budget for Wisp. And let's get into 4th place. So 4th place is going to be done by Dark Triple L or Dark 3. And this is only slightly better and uses a slightly different method. This run is 106k. Right. The big difference in this particular method is the use of a trident. And so he's uncharged his trident to show us what he's bringing in terms of item value, and now he's going to be charging the trident so it can be used. 106k, 547 GP, opting for the full Salad of Robes this time instead of the Zami top for a bit of prayer, and he's also upgraded the setup a little bit further using Ancient Brews. So with Ancient Brews and the Trident, with 200 charges in, we should be seeing some slightly higher hits a bit more frequently, as it's a 4-tick instead of a 5-tick weapon. And it will be a lot easier to cast, because it's a single click to cast. Notice that he has splashed about 7 times in a row, so there is that. 8 times in a row? I don't know what the Trident can hit, but it's kind of rough. He's also got 6 darts in his inventory. So instead of going for the Rune Throne X technology, he's opting for just killing 6 of any ghost and trying to get the maximum benefit from that as well. Now, some people have thought for a long time now that killing only 2 of the yellow ghosts, the ones that are screaming, what is it even? I forgot now. The ones that are saying the life thing. If you kill the 2 life ghosts, you will get some healing. But if you kill Vita ghosts, if you kill the 2 Vita ghosts, that'll be the easiest way to do this in this phase. However, if you kill the Moors ghosts, the more you kill of them, you're going to get up to 50 damage per kill, which is going to be super beneficial considering how slow this stuff is with magic. So if these guys are opting to increase the efficiency, they might want to kill the Vita ghosts and the Moors ghosts, and that's maybe why he has 6 darts. So we'll see if he uses all 6 for that particular purpose, or if he chooses a different set. Either way, the choice of ghosts in this one is quite interesting. May come into play as far as getting some more prayer back, more HP back, or just dealing damage to the boss to speed up the kill. So even that in this kind of budget challenge will become a bit more important. First special coming up, and it's going to be the orbs on the ground. Nothing too crazy about these specials overall. Just need to make sure your pathing is good and not making any mistakes. He is also using, I believe, radius markers, which for... Oh no, it's not radius markers. I thought he had for a second. Whisperer has no plugins on. Very respectable. He's got the area for resetting stuff. And instead of freezing, looks like he's opting to simply run away, which is a perfectly viable strategy. If you're 10 tiles or more away, I think you can easily escape her bind. So running away saves runes, really. Lag lines, yeah. I don't think it's lag lines. Well, maybe it is. I thought it was the loading lines for like crabs and stuff. I have no clue. Also, can we respect the master clue over here? Third age hat? Didn't realize it was there. Should have brought that in. Congrats on the third age hat from the masters. Very nice. Whisperer log looking pretty good. Yeah, Wisp dropping potatoes, some wines. I wonder what these could have been used for. We may never know. He's also an Iron Man. Third age hat on the iron, very cool. And you wouldn't believe it, gilded spade and 73 battle axes. There's just no way. Another really interesting thing, I didn't realize this, but Vardy, 1,000 Vardorvis, dropping like 20k bloods and 15k soul
make
runes.
a mean pizza with those arms.
Kind of insane, I had no idea. And gilded D-High Vams, bro, your master clue log is insane. Should be a requirement for anyone submitting to put up a post on it. 4 XP, thank you for the gifted to Omelette Hunter. Much deserved, thank you, buddy. So, we are about 2/3 of the way into the kill. Trident tech is proving to be fairly good. The 4-tick attack speed making up for any max hit loss that might be going on here. The accuracy still feels pretty bad, but there's 22 damage, and I think this can probably hit, again, close to 25. Very, very similar to Fire... Oh, there's 28 damage, and that's not the max hit. So this Trident method is faster attack speed, maybe slightly worse accuracy, but a higher max hit than Fire Surge at 24. Still want to see what the max hit is. I reckon it's like 30 or something. 30 with Ancient Brew Boost. Okay, 30 it is. Alright, here are the ghosts. He goes for the 2 Vita ghosts, and he's got 4 more darts, but he chooses not to use them. Instead, opting to run away from Whisperer. He's going to get a couple attacks off, and the idea here is making sure that he can escape the bind by running away from Whisperer. So going only for the 2 Vita, perfectly acceptable method. I would have always taken a melee 28-28. The DDS comes in. Bit of a scary moment, but it won't impact the overall kill as long as he's okay on supplies. Scary, scary. Taking a second to get stable, and we're back at it. He's got plenty of food, he can afford to make a couple more mistakes, and a lot of prayer left over. Run could have definitely been optimized a bit more, as with all of these. But sometimes you've got to leave yourself a bit of a window for any mistakes that may happen. Last 100 HP up here. Whisperer is in its second to final form. I still wanted to see some tech using the dragon, or sorry, the darts, going for the Moors ghosts. I think there is definitely time to do it. A free 50 damage probably shouldn't be laughed at. Another hit coming in, 36. Time to eat another Karambwam or 2. The enraged phases are definitely going to be quite shaky. There's 80 sanity going away. Taking yet another hit, and all the food is now gone. 96 HP, and that's all he's got to work with. So, it's time to game. 24 HP Whisperer, can one-hit it. And no food remaining for the final part. I do think when you're at the final stage, you can afford to take a few hits if you're high HP. And the main thing is that you really just have to dodge. You got to keep your DPS up, and you have to dodge. Alright, here we go. 1 hit taken already. 8 sanity getting drained straight to 80. And the damage is starting to come in. There's a 30 for the max hit at the start. Both the weapons of the previous 2 contestants. Going very ham and in rage mode. Good to see. Some nice pathing, some nice footwork coming in. Whisperer sitting at 73 HP. There is no way. And the Trident is hitting. 55 sanity. DPS looks very good. So showcasing at the least that Trident is a much better choice damage-wise. As we know, Tridents are just very strong weapons compared to Fire Surge. And there's the kill. Nicely done. That enrage was very, very fast. Getting a supply drop, 7-minute kill, 22 KC only, and 106k budget from Dark. 3, Dark L. Very nice run, mate. That was the 4th place for Whisper. And the standings are as follows. 3rd, 2nd, and 1st yet to come. All these 3 place in the money. Let's get up 3rd place. Next up, we have Dr. Nat, and he is running just over a 100k budget, so we are still above 100k temporarily, although we are going to dip below very shortly. And he is opting for jugs of wines as his food, and he's got money in his inventory. Is this money tech? Money tech, bro. This is actually for charging the trident, I guess, probably. But yeah, let's see. Bribe tech? If I'm getting that 2,500 GP, I will overlook whatever else he's doing here. Here we go. 102k, 500 GP. Perfectly acceptable, all within the rules. Very, very good. And he is also opting for a trident kill. Playing on fixed client, we love to see it. And this is a 9-minute kill. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. There we go. Dr. Net also gaming. Instead of opting for the salad robes, he has opted to go for... Wait a minute. I thought this was awakened for a second. No, it's just marked. Okay, he is opting to go for the trident, but instead of going for salad robes, his setup includes monk's robes for the prayer bonus. So being able to cut down on the amount of prayer pots taken will increase or lower the budget, which is the idea here, I guess. And just making sure to flick carefully, that's all it really takes. So again, this is a similar idea, similar setup, couple of hits here at the start. Not fantastic. Now, wines won't impact his magic level. He's still going to stay topped up. It will only reduce his attack level, so this will keep him at 99 still, which is kind of okay. Making sure to flick as much as he can with quick press. Definitely all the players here have taken a few hits. There's not many, if any, perfect runs during this comp. I think Dodo, funnily enough, did a technically perfect one at Duke. Maybe some of the others did perfect Dukes. But other than Duke, not many players doing perfect stuff. And remember, this is the 3rd place for Whisperer. Had an 89k run, you brushed up as too much? Nope, sure wasn't. 89k would have been ahead of this. That's the thing with these, you never know who's submitted. Doesn't hurt to submit, just send it in. Some good runs, some bad runs, but still fun, still interesting. Does Nat play on a Wacom tablet? I don't know what he plays on, but it is definitely a fixed client. He is, so far, the only submitter to play on fixed client, I think. We had the 8 million pixel full screen HD 3D curved screen monitor earlier on. And now we're having fixed screen, the complete opposite. His mouse movements remind me of an Etch-a-Sketch. This is sped up 1.5x because it's a fairly long set of kills at Whisperer. So it's sped up very slightly, but only very slightly. Trident, once again, even without the salad robes, is still doing quite good damage. Opting here to simply not bring any darts and only to kill the 2 Vita ghosts using the trident. I am surprised no one yet has gone for the 6 dart kill 2 Vita and kill 2 Moors strat, which I think would be quite interesting and quite good. Does successfully dodge the melee, opting also not to use freezes here, as freezes would cost a little bit more GP and it's not so necessary. Flicks have gotten better, he's not taken any damage for a while. And Whisperer is just under 50% HP. We will be having a special in a minute, I guess. I wasn't really watching. I guess he had the ghosts. We still have pillars, and we still have leeches. I don't know why it's called orbs. They're technically leeches that come out from the ground or something. It's like leech eggs or something weird. And they just attack you instead of spawning. Jagex moment, I guess. Not sure what this has sound. Oh, we do have sound. Here we go. Oh, it's got music too. Unlucky mate. That's prayers at 41. I think he still has a couple of prayer pots, or prayer vessels, as we say. Still got a couple of stuff to work with. He's got one full prayer potion, so plenty to use. Decided to go out of the Shadow Realm and do some damage to Whisper as well. Lovely bit of memorization there. And he should be far enough away to dodge this attack as well, and he is. Just about circumvents her. No damage taken whatsoever. Now, I will say, the next two kills, the rank 1 and the rank 2, are drastically lower budgets. Drastically lower budgets than this. So we're going from Ali with a 109k, to Dark with a 106k, to Net with a 102k. All of these runs are within 10k of each other, if not 6k. So the question is, how low are we going to go? How low can they go? What are they using? What's the strat difference? We can see here a max hit of only 28 with this setup. I'm not sure what the difference is between the other two. I guess the difference is maybe Ancient Brew. I think 1 or 2 Ancient Brews here would have been a very interesting play. Definitely a small optimization. 30 HP on the Whisperer, and we are approaching Enrage. Let's go back to regular speed. Even I don't know. Could be anything. Once again employing the fantastical run around like a headless chicken strategy. 1 hit taken and sanity reduced to 65. Gotta be careful here. The Whisperer attacks starting with range twice and then mage twice and alternates this. So it is a predictable cycle. Have to be a bit careful in the pathing. Make sure you catch the flicks in time. Trident, yet again, doing what Trident does best. Good damage. 40% sanity, plenty to get through this. And look at his inventory. It's only wines. Oh, 9% sanity, he's taking a big hit. 6%. 3% sanity. He's got to finish this off. He's got to do DPS. He's got Insane. He's going to start taking damage. Oh, 2 ticks away from death. 2 ticks away from death, but just about clutched it up. Scary at the end. And Nat finishes with a Steam Rune drop of 25k. Still not too bad. Closing on a 100 Whisperer. Just under 9-minute kill. And didn't really use much food at all. He only used about 6 wines. So pretty low damage kill. Very, very scary end. But well played to Dr. Nat on securing 3rd place for the Whisperer. Whisperer, Dr. Nat, 3rd place. Very nice. Very well played. Just you know, take the last 5 seconds of this and just ignore. We'll cut it out for the YouTube version. Luckily, I didn't leak. I don't think I leaked the big one. Anyway, we're fine. Whisperer. Stop. Whisperer, 2nd place. I have like 500 buttons here, okay? I have like 5,000 buttons. Next up, we have Cruncher. 2nd place for the Whisperer. And this is an extremely low budget of 53k. Just under 53k. So this is extremely low. And we are wiping about 50k off the budget. 50k off the budget. Don't know if we have sounds on, maybe? Yeah, we do. Lovely. So Nat taking 3rd place with 102. Cruncher 2nd place with 53k. And he's opting for a really interesting setup. This is the first time we're seeing a non-magic based setup. And I didn't actually think this was possible. I really didn't think this was something that anyone would do. He is opting for Vengeance. Yep. Now, I don't know at what point he's going to take the Venge hits. He might be loading it up for the final part. He might be loading it up for Enrage so he can take the Venge hits there. Maybe. And he is in full snakeskin. The snakeskin warrior himself. Opting for Ruby Bolts and then Diamond Bolts to finish us off. So a bit how we saw this for Vardorvis as well. This is the same kind of thing, where we are relying on Ruby Bolt RNG and hoping that we can take Whisperer's HP down. It is actually hitting every now and then. It's just very rare, but it is hitting. So this is 2nd place Whisperer, and honestly just a really crazy setup. Didn't think we'd be seeing anything like this at all. This might be one of the few kills ever done at Whisperer without magic. There might be practically nobody who's done this in range. Practically no one. Bolts on the ground as well. Yeah, Assembler is an untradeable. Not allowed to bring Assembler for this challenge. If you wanted to bring bolts, you have to manage the amount or pick them up. Kandarin Diary actual value there. There's a 20 hit from range, so it does hit occasionally, even without the ruby bolts. And he's got diamonds to finish the kill, plus vengeance to finish the kill. There's the first ruby of the trip. A big 100. So obviously he'll get a few more over the course of this. Assembler wasn't an exception. Everything, nothing untradeable was allowed. It means you have to be very careful with your strategies. Changes how you play. The strategy at the start of Enrage is genius. Yeah. When we get there, it's going to be amazing. So this kill is 12 minutes long. I'm going to speed it up. Try and get it down below like 7-8 minutes. Did it on both at day one? Nope. Don't think so. No proof. This is the first ever range-only Whisperer kill. According to me. Source myself. In his inventory, as you guys can see, he has casts for, I think, two Vengeance, maybe? I think it's like 2 Vengeance. So I'm presuming he's going to use this at the end of the trip. He's going to take a couple of hits to finish off the Wisp. He's running the Divine Range Potion instead of a Divine Bastion, saving a good amount of GP. There's the second ruby of the trip. Whisperer sitting at 2/3 HP. Third ruby coming in shortly after. Very, very nice. It's so wild to me that ruby bolts can do this kind of thing. If there's one thing that low budget challenges show, it's like how broken certain items really are. In terms of their like raw power for what you can get. On an interesting topic, Sir Pugger once ran a challenge to get the highest possible max hit in, I think it was like 1 hour of account creation or something. And we ended up crafting a setup that got us to get the range level to use ruby bolts within that hour. And so we went to Corp and spec'd it for 100. Within 1 hour of making an account. It's madness. Of course that was with money on the account, but still ridiculous to think that within 1 hour of creating an account you can do that. Again, the power of ruby bolts, just something else entirely. They did like Black Dragons, yeah. It's like, go click Corp, man. That was a fun one though. Sub 100k speedrun for DT2 would be interesting. Do you guys, question for everyone, do you guys prefer these kind of budget challenges? Or do you prefer watching speedruns? Because I think these are more interesting overall, because we've all seen speedruns before. It's nice seeing a speedrun for the first time, but these are like very interesting in terms of how people play and how their strats develop. Both are fun, yeah, for sure. Riddles as well. Speedrun for this RNG. Speeds are just mostly RNG, yeah. Budget speeds. Speedrun only if it's record. Yeah. Obviously speedrun, like, developing the strategies is really interesting. But when it comes down to, like, we have a strategy and it's just, like, running over and over, I would personally prefer to watch budget or specific challenges. I really like the idea of lots and lots of limitations. So, you know, for this challenge we did no untradables. But for a future challenge, what if we ban ruby bolts? What if we ban salamanders? Stuff like that, you know? And then that forces players out of the comfort zone and forces them out of this established meta a little bit. Still keeps it interesting. Just some food for thought. Ruby bolts hitting well. There's a 13 after another ruby. What about only untradables? That might get a little bit broken. The thing with untradables was if I allowed it, players would bring in Assembler, they would bring in Void. You could technically bring in the likes of, like, Infernal Cape, Max Cape, you can bring in Defenders. There's a double Ruby Bolt! The second Ruby only did, like, 14 damage. He is going to be hitting the Vita Ghosts as well. Picking up the Ruby Bolts. Very good. And running away so that he doesn't take any damage. I've not seen Cruncher take any hits. He might have taken 1 or 2, but I've not seen any myself. So some very good flicking, dodging, and all-around gameplay. Ornament Kit Necklace, yeah. I remember about a year ago, someone was doing Tog, and I was just watching, like, just chilling, and the thought was like, bro, look at my inventory. Look how many of the items are untradeable in my inventory. Sorry, chambers. And if you look at the stuff in a chamber's inventory, it's actually insane how little of it's actually tradable, because it's either been ornament kitted, or it is just an untradeable item. Like, all the mage capes, sorry, all the capes that you wear, bis slots, I don't know if it was like an Inferno setup or something, but yeah, now Blood Torver is even like that. Obviously, Defenders. Necklaces are all ornament kitted. Ancestral is kitted. Yeah, Blood Torver again. Really, really interesting. Not just untradeable, but like unbuyable, yeah. You couldn't like directly trade it. It's all kitted out. It's funny that the game's gone this route. Not in a bad way, though. Alright, I'm going to slow us back down here for the final part. This is where it's going to get really interesting. This might be one of the most interesting methods across the entire thing. Ruby bolts are only hitting 16 damage now. Boot kits, well, yeah. Imbued rings, right. Another ruby coming in for a 13 damage. At this point, the rubies don't matter too much. But even at this point, the DPS is still really good compared to, I assume, diamond bolts. Probably only when it gets down to like 10 HP would it be worth switching. No hits taken so far. He still has Venge. Yeah, I don't know if the thing's in the ground with proc Venge, though, but I don't think he's taken any. This is a very, very good kill. We're now onto the Diamond Bolts. There's a 41 from Diamond Bolt. Does take a bit of hit, but he's going to get set back up again. And the Whisperer is 14 HP, about to enter in a Rage. You guys ready to see this in Rage method? He still has Vengeance up from the start of the kill, 10 minutes ago. There's the Diamond Bolt. He gets the last Prayer Flick, and he's going into melee range. 1 Vengeance, 2 Vengeance, 29, 29! And he's taken no sanity loss from that. He's on the Diamond Bolts, and now it's a race against the sanity meter. There's a 24 natural, no ruby, no diamond, no nothing. Another one for a 5. It turns out in Enrage, everyone's weapons just pop off. How sick is that? And I think he may have one more cast remaining. So he sacrifices some HP for some really good damage. There's a nice dodge. Run! Sanity meter approaching halfway, 50%. Whisperer on 69 HP. Nice. There's another restore dose. His supplies are looking very good, but the sanity meter is the true enemy here. He's got to DPS the boss before the sanity meter reaches it. Before the sanity meter hits 0, or it is all over. He will have another Vengeance coming up. I think there's a 26 with the Diamond Bolt proc. A 5 again from a natural. 38 HP. This is one hittable at this point if he hits big. There's a 35 natural. Sanity is about to hit 10%. And there's the final one with the Diamond Bolt. Insane for the last second, but what a method. Isn't that a crazy method? Would never have seen that if it wasn't for some budget runs. Jesus Lamau. Yeah, bro. About as close as it gets. These are quite something. 11-minute kill, 600 kills total. Cruncher mate. Insane strategy, well played. Really fun to see. I didn't think we'd see anything like that with regards to Wisp strats. I didn't think we'd see anything like that. So really, really well played. That was the rank 2. There is one more submission, which is going to be rank 1. Let me not fundle my stream deck anymore. Fumble my stream deck. Wisp 2. Ta-da! Okay. Cruncher taking second home. 75 million GP and half the budget of Dr. Nat, Dark, and Ali. So, rank 1 Whisperer. Let's have a look. This submission is from Relate, and it is a 34k submission. We are shaving off yet another 10k or more. And we are opting for a similar strategy. So you guys can see the inventory here. And also, he's definitely been killed before. But you can see the strategy here. We are also going with Ruby Bolts, which is going to be the method of getting the HP low. But he has also got Magic Gear in the inventory. Let's see how he does it. Myth Cape, yeah, for the TP is okay. We have some sounds, so I'll put them on. This is an 11-minute kill. I will speed it up once again. But for 34k total, very, very good. He's got the Mage Shear on. Look at the tiles in the room. He's got all the tiles, bro. 2 Warhammer, 116 BGS. Somewhat OP. A 20 from the Addy Crossbow into the 100 immediately. I can turn it up a bit. There you go. The second ruby coming in real fast. So we're opting for a similar method. He is on the regular spellbook. There is no vengeance strats in this one. You missed a tick on the orbs. Awful gameplay. He missed 2. Oh, he went to get his ruby bolts. He went to get his ruby bolts. Very smart. I think Emmy's in the kitchen making some foodie or cleaning. Once again, he is not going for any freezes. He is simply running away, taking a long distance approach. And also opting not to flick rigor or anything else, and simply just praying against the boss, trying to conserve prayer. The ruby bolts have no barrier to proccing on a boss. It's literally just like a 1 in 10, 15 or something. So there's no reason to like flick offensive prayers or anything. Another reason why they're so powerful. He's also got the memory method for these pillars. Very good method if you're trying to do the Awakened Whisper, is to label them based on letters and recall the 5 letters in a row. But yeah, you guys see what's in his inventory. He is rocking the Staff of Fire with a little bit of mage gear, and he is going to be using Fire Surge to finish off the kill. So with a reduced inventory on supplies, no vengeance runes of any nature, and slightly better prayer conservation perhaps. This is a 34k GP run. Now, what's interesting is, I don't know how you can get lower than this. I don't really know, outside of maybe even better Ruby RNG, what you can do to, like, make this less. Because ultimately, Whisperer is a DPS check at the end, so you can't have, like, nothing. You gotta have something to work with. Ancient Brews saved a lot of money compared to Prayer Pots. They give magic levels as well, yeah. So the magic level increase was, like, 2 maxes on Trident. Plus the accuracy is very big. So some optimizations to setup, but I don't know. I mean, this is 34k. I don't think many people could be able to do like a sub 20k kill. Possible. Can you tick eat the sanity hits? No, they attack every tick and they deal like a good amount of damage, so it wouldn't be tick eatable. As far as I'm aware, I don't think anyone could survive if you get sanity problems. Yeah, it comes down to the RNG at the end as well. You could opt to use slightly less casts at the end, and simply make sure that you would... Oh, he's gone on to Fire Surge immediately. After... Oh wait, under half HP? Personally, I would have thought that Ruby Bolts would still be better DPS here. Ran out of bolts and couldn't pick them up? Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I guess the problem is you can't pick them up. Yeah, makes sense. So Fire Surge it is. We have Fire Surgery most of the rest of the skill. Not many people can survive sanity problems in-game and IRL. Honestly, so true. Whisperer teaching us lessons about the world. Telegrab tech? That's actually not that's actually kind of a shout. Also opting to kill the Vita Ghosts. Perfectly reasonable. He does have the line of sight plug, not the line of sight, he does have the radius marker on to make sure he is outside of the 10 tile distance for Wisp. Definitely a nice little play to make this boss easier. Yeah, a telegrab wouldn't cost that much in terms of supplies. 1 lore rune and 3 air runes. I mean, that's like maybe a 250 GP sort of thing. And it would get your bolts back, so honestly, pretty interesting. I was using SBS Double Venge Telegrab, it really said it didn't work. It's a really cool idea. 100% your Vengeance strat, Cruncher, was the most interesting thing so far. Maybe Dodo's run was more interesting in a way, but this is really cool. And you still lost, mate. You're still second place. In Dodo's 30-minute Duke run, we trust. 30 minutes, bro. 3-0. Fuck me. And then like 2 days later in Discord, Dodo's like, oh shit, black salamanders exist. Just realizing immediately like, oh fuck. 4 hours of my life is gone. Deduct points for the cursor? Your cursor, maybe. I have a toffee yum yum on the side. Might just take a second in a minute. The last boss left to go for is going to be Leviathan after Whisperer. Again, the Leviathan had the most submissions out of any boss, with a total of 11, I think? 11 submissions, which was quite a lot. Definitely a very competitive category. And all of the submissions were below 50k. All submissions were below 50k. Not going to say how much lower below, but all of them were below 50. So Leviathan gets very competitive, and that's why I've left it to last. I think it's the most competitive category. It's the most interesting one. Kirby did some runs on stream as well. You guys are going to see the Kirby run. The Leviathan tech discoverer and creator himself for a lot of the stuff we use today. And we're going to see how it goes now. Let's put this back on 1x speed and watch him finish up the kill. Mr. Kirby. Oh boy, Kirby, I've got some more challenges to release at the end of this this competition. I hope you're interested, bro, because they might be up your alley. It's this guy? You owe Kirby some credit for the Topaz Bolt tech? The fuck does Topaz Bolts do? I don't know what Topaz Bolts do, bro. Should make a category optimizing cost and time where each tick adds 1k to your final cost. Personally, I love ideas like that. I don't know if players would ever truly compete because there's not much reason to, but I don't know. I love the budget stuff. I'm going to do more of this in the future. If it ever takes off and it continues to be really fun to watch like this, we'll definitely do some more stuff. Honestly, the biggest problem with doing these is incentivizing players. The biggest problem is incentivizing players. I need GP. If you guys want to give me money, just give me money. I will do more of these all the time, every week, every other week. The biggest blocker. But I'm still going to pull some money into this and make it happen, so regardless of no funding, it will still occur. There's the kill into the final part. Oh, that was it. You just gamed. You're just clean with it, man. Didn't even realize that was the entire thing. You just clean into it. There we go. 11-minute kill. Adamant longswords for his efforts, and leaving the remainder of 7k left over. So this again was a 34k kill, leaving a bit left over, but still beating everyone else by a good margin. So congrats to Relate on taking home first place at the Whisperer. The standings for Wisp look as follows. Ali once again on the leaderboard, 109k. Dark with 106. Dr. Nat with 102. Cruncher moving us down below 100k into 52. And Relate taking home first place with 34k. So Nat taking home 25, Cruncher 75, and Relate 150. Congrats, guys. Again, give him a clap. Thank you for the efforts. And really fun runs from everyone, especially Cruncher. Good job, guys. Right, it's time. Give me a second to set up here. I am gonna get Leviathan ready to run. We had so many submissions for the Leviathan.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys heard it. You know who's up first. Oh god, that's some music. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no spoilers there. All right, all are loaded up. Let's move into our first contender. Oh, actually, before we move into first contender, I have to show the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions for Leviathan. So thank you guys for submitting. These are the guys who did not make top 5, but did submit some really sick runs. So Dr. Nat, 37k to start us off. Thank you. Dr. Nat, 37k to start us off. Dark with 32k. Wizzy with 26. Adonis with 22k. Dodo with 19k. And Virtus with sub 15k. So all of the remaining 5 kills are all below 15k. 15k is the best honorable mention. It gets better than this. Gets better than this. So let's see what we're going to work with. The first submission is from none other than Kirby. Let's get stuck in. Here we are. Kirby is running, and he is doing the first of these with 9,999 GP. Very nicely worked out, Kirb. Sub 10k to start us off. Snake Vams, Unholy Symbol, 16 Ruby Bolts. 16 Ruby Bolts. How is he going to do it with 16 Ruby Bolts? Explain yourself. Who made the graphics? I made the graphics. Wasn't too bad. The old school Art Hub Discord has some really good resources.
It's capped. I've had it before.
Yoinked
It does
him and
it,
threw him
it
in.
doesn't do it. So sketches me out.
Kirby, you're too loud. I'm going to turn you down a bit.
There we go.
Oh, let me go back a sec. All right, here's what we're running for Kirby. Adamant Crossbow, Monks top and bottom. We got a is that a regular restore? I think that's a regular restore. A 1-dose range potion. He's got runes to cast Shadow Barrage. Topaz Tech. He's got 3 different types of bolts. Leave it to Kirby to find 5 million modes. Energy pot? Okay, energy pot. But yeah, leave it to Kirby to find 5 different bolts that are useful. So someone explain. So the emerald bolts, the 7 emerald bolts are for poisoning. These are for poisoning. I don't actually know what the topaz bolts do. What do the topaz bolts do? These things here. I have no clue. Someone help us out. -1 magic. They're just very, very cheap as well. Okay. Oh, I can't hear it. Let me have a look.
There we go.
I don't know if he did explain
Spend
anything.
money.
Yeah. All right. Good luck, Kirby.
Let's do it.
For the sub 1k challenge. They're just very cheap. I see.
Come on, need some rubies.
First ruby immediately. Very, very good.
2.
Second ruby. Some very good RNG to start us off. Kirby, since you're here, how many attempts did this take? How many attempts did you do? There's 3 rubies in like less than 10 hits. That's the kind of RNG we see if we reset a bit. So I can only assume you did a couple of runs. You got Kirby's chat in the chat as well. You did 2 or 3, just got spooned. Awesome.
Give me lightning phase.
So it turns out Kirby's RNG is just really good.
Place a rock down.
And now comes the first part of Leviathan where you have to dodge. You can either run around for the lightning, or you can use this method, if timed correctly and started correctly, to take 0 damage. This method is very good with a 5-tick weapon. And will allow you to get some good damage out during lightning phases.
Come on.
Now, Leviathan kills do not take a long time. This entire run from Kirby is only 6 minutes long compared to the 10 or so minutes from Whisperer and Duke. So we're leaving a fairly fast category to last. But of course, Leviathan is fairly flick heavy. I guess we'll be seeing how much these guys actually want to flick. Kirby opting to send his Shadow Barrages, I think fairly early. I'm not sure if it's like good to do so early, but it is the Kirby tech. It cannot be wrong. This method he's using for trapping the boulders is one of his own making, and it's the one that everyone uses now. Super, super good method. Leaves open panels, open pathways, while allowing you to build a wall. So, Kirby tech, used from Kirby. Ooh, bit of a mislick. Kirby tech, only the best. Leviathan is now just under 50% HP. And he's opting for an early Shadow Barrage, or an early Shadow Spell yet again. He's actually not using Shadow Barrage in order to keep the rune cost... Oh, he's missed! Kirby! If this was Awakened Leviathan, he would be in the next phase by now. And he is once again starting for... Oh, interesting strat. Wait! Kirby! Oh, Kirby! What is this? This is known as 6-ticking your 5-tick weapon. However, it is saving run. What an absolutely Chad strategy. 1 tick on his crossbow, not a big deal. Saving run and therefore another potion, a big deal. saying I use the Kirby method is the most ambiguous sentence in OSRS PVM, might as well say I killed boss. There's a great meme of Kirby skipping, where it's literally just like, is this the Kirby skip? And you can be anything you want it to be. See, Kirby just knows that that tile's safe, and I would never do that. I would never stand there. That looks terrible. But I guess he's got the label on the tile to say that East is like, okay. That's quite cool. You put it on the accurate for the 6-tick insane micro, potentially. I'm going to turn the sounds down a bit because they're clashing with my music. There we go. Why is Kirby just so talented? He's using this technology again. This looks like it might just be a bit unfair. And we vote to disqualify Kirby for this strange, abusive, magical rock tech. Anyone in favor of fully disqualifying Kirby and potentially getting his accounts banned and his Twitch banned? Probably only fair. Let's all cancel Kirby for this unfair tactic. Here comes the next barrage. Hasn't missed a flick yet, I don't believe. The only damage is taken is from the Ruby bolts. Leviathan not the most dangerous NPC until it gets to enrage. But for these gamers, they've all done tons and tons and tons of... Oh, Kirby taking a hit from the rock. He will be safer. He will be safe. He's all right. He's using plugins, the hell? He's using plugins? This is so unfair. He's using tile markers? Right, Leviathan is down to nearly 20%. And we are getting into the last part here now.
Hurry.
Let's get in it, Kirby. Now he's inside this orb. As long as he follows the orb, his hits are going to be really good. Averaging around 70 to 80% of his max hit every time he attacks boss. So as long as he stays in and flicks his prez, this should be a fairly clean end to the kill. This is not normally. Very good player. Maybe check his PC. One hit taken from Leviathan so far. They'll be trying to dodge these rocks as well on the ground. They will deal some decent damage. And the other important thing is to try and stay away from the melee range, which will also prove fairly fatal if you go into melee range.
Let's go! Sub 10k budget kill. That's pretty good.
Nicely done from Kirby. 195 Cole for his efforts, a 5-minute kill, and 5th place on the leaderboard for Leviathan. Let's throw it up there. Starting us off with just under 10k, Kirby, very nice run, dude. Really nice tactics. The all-round Leviathan method maker himself. So there's a great start to Leviathan. And next up, we have a slight improvement from the winner of the previous challenge. It's Relate. So, opting for an extremely similar setup, but this time I believe with only Ruby bolts. So this budget is... Okay, let's shut that down for a second. This budget from Relate is a total of 9,829 GB. As you can see here, that's his total budget. Looks to be all good. Nothing untradeable except the ring for the TPs and the cape, which is completely fine. And this is the 4th place run for Leviathan. 2 casts of Smoke Barrage. Will he be CXing it? Let's find out. Relate won the previous challenge, but is only placing 4th for Leviathan. So there are still going to be 3 players who are doing better than this. 60 shots total. These rubies are going to pop off. Let's find out. Not sure I can play the music on this one because that. But yeah, there's the first ruby coming through. We can watch it as the hits go through. We can watch the XP drops. His overall hits are just pretty good. Leviathan on 85% already. Leviathan on 82%. There's another ruby, second one coming through, and Leviathan is at 70% already. Why is the vid 246? Because he just kills it. He is just that good. So the difference between Kirby and Relate seems to be both the amount of food and also the amount of flicking he wishes to do. He's just hitting some big numbers as well. He's just hitting some big numbers. So this may have taken a good amount of resets, but he's fairly comfortable flicking. There's another 100 coming in. Don't know how many resets this took. Probably a fair few. 24. Dude, his hits are just mental. There's another ruby. Oh, that's not the ruby. That's just a big hit. A 37 hit coming through. Addy crossbow with he's potioned to 111 or 110 now. Still got the wines. Still got the hits coming in. 58, my goodness. I'm so surprised it hits that high. And he's opting for a similar strategy where he runs back and forth. You can get one hit on either side. And Leviathan is down to 40% HP. There's another ruby, I believe. I think that was a ruby. Not actually too sure. It might have just been a really big hit. And 85, I mean, 43 hits is just crazy. Is he hitting these? Are these rubies? Am I going crazy? Skewed hits on Levi. Okay. The predicted hits are wrong. Right. He is just hitting really big numbers, though. He's at 8 rubies. God. So he's in a rage already. He just goes straight for it. 34. Oh, it's like half damage. That's like a 24 or something. 29. Yeah, okay. I see. Taken 1 hit so far. Honestly, this is just like insanely good RNG. He's done a lot of resets to make this work. He's still got to play the enrage correctly. Don't go into melee range, dodge the rocks. He's out of it for a second, takes another 5. He's like within 1 shot radius now. There's the kill. Just an insane RNG. Grinded it out. Relate finishing with a 2-minute and 23-second kill. This is the fastest Leviathan kill, I think. How quick is that? That's crazy. I've had slower kills in max range. I've legitimately had slower kills in max range as well. How crazy is that? A 2-minute 22 kill with literally like less than 10k. Madness. And he still had 23 ruby bolts left. He could have done another kill. Madness. So relate with the fastest, I believe, Leviathan kill, taking home 4th place, just above Kirby by about 160 odd GP. So very well played, crazy RNG. I assume he reset it a couple of times, but still well played. And we are now getting into the prize money for Leviathan. Next up, we have a decent budget increase yet again. Nothing too crazy, but this run is from Bavaro, who competed earlier. And he is now going for the similar strats, but he has some interesting items in his inventory. You wouldn't believe it anywhere else. He's got the mithril arrows. This budget, as you can see top left, is 9,251 GP. So we are shaving off another 600 GP, not quite yet below 9k, but beginning to get there. This is the 3rd place run from Bavaro. So this is in his entire gear. Oh, I don't know if that showed the whole thing properly. There we go. 9,251. All counts. And yeah, he's got 53 bolts. He's got 53 exactly. He knows the exact amount he needs. The guy in Missouri team behind him. It must be so funny watching people get into this boss room and just be like, what the fuck are you doing? What on earth are you doing? What convinced you to come here? There's a 37 to start it off. It's always crazy how strong range is. With 99 range, you just hit so hard. Range just scales well on all weaponry. And of course, you guys saw he had like, I think it was an oak short bow. He's got an oak short bow, and he's also got, there's the first 100 by the way. He's got an oak short bow. There's a second 100 back to back. Can he do 3 in a row? Terrible. Not a good gamer. Not a good player. Good player would have hit 3 in a row. It's Willow. So you got Willow, you got Willow shortbow, and mithril arrows to finish up. One of the cheapest possible setups ever for that kind of like enraged phase, I guess. A ruby there as well. Ruby bolts coming in clutch. See if he takes any damage here. Nope, he's got the setup all good. Dodge that does the dodge correctly. All 3 of these guys so far have had really good dodges. Big gaming. Kirby, the only one to employ some interesting rock technology so far, but everyone choosing a 0 damage and efficient strat here. Still can't believe that last kill was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Kirby, the only cheater so far, yep. Kirby, the only person to absolutely cheat his balls off, and rewarded with 5th place. Leviathan here is now under 50%. Ruby bolts are still coming in. Range mix is cheaper than a range potion. Yeah, and for this kind of challenge, it's really useful. I mean, a 4-dose range pot is generally more valuable, so adding fish roe, which is like nothing to it, for a bit of herbal XP to make it even cheaper is like good, right? These guys are all using, once again, tiles that Kirby pioneered. Super, super useful tiles. Another Ruby coming in. Leviathan down to just under 30% HP. Again, all these kills are fairly quick. 20% is when that orb thing comes up, I believe. Haven't done much regular Leviathan myself. Think any bosses will be botted? Oh yeah. Everything in the game is botted, even raids, so these bosses will be no exception. The prayer flicking is getting a bit more intensive. He's getting set up here. Getting ready here so he can begin the barrage. 23% Leviathan, there's the barrage, and he's going to start running around, getting ready to enter in rage. I have a bit more time here compared to Awakened version. You can get yourself set up nice and easy. And he switches into the Willow shortbow. I think it's Willow again. Sorry, I forgot it wrong. That's in melee range, gotta be careful. Here are the flicks. Lovely pathing. Mithril arrows making short work of Leviathan. Gotta get a bit ahead of that orb. Always better to stay in front than behind. Cleaning up. Some nice hits, some nice movement. What more could you ask for? 2% on Leviathan, and he's been taken down. Mithril arrows versus Leviathan. Mithril arrows wins. Bavaro finishing the 9,251 GP budget kill and receiving 40k for his efforts. Massive profit, doubled the bank value, congrats. And that will be the 3rd place kill at Leviathan. These are the standings. Moving into 2nd and 1st place. Are we going to go below 9k? Let's find out. This next kill is from Marcus. Hasn't made an appearance, I don't believe, in the other challenges. But Marcus went in with the following setup. Plus the gear he's wearing. So again, opting for an extremely similar strategy. He's only 78 prayer as well. Marcus, bro, when you take home 2nd place from this comp, maybe get some prayer levels, yeah? And can go for 1st place next time. 78 prayer Chad. Here's what he's running. He's literally got nothing equipped. He's just got Addy crossbow and some bolts. 9,197 GP, shaving off, I shit you not, 54 GP from Bavaro's kill. This is just his normal grinding. This is just how he plays. He's just building his account up. He's actually just done a normal kill and recorded it for the comp. Yeah, Marcus, bro. Go buy some prayer levels here. First Ruby coming in, 1st kill. Look at these flicks, he's professional. He might only have 78 prayer, but for a man like this, it may as well be 1,000 prayer. Good usage of quick prayers. How good is that? Started at 78 out of 80. Yeah, he didn't have full prayer. He's just trying to handicap himself because he's too good. Here comes out another Ruby. And another one. And another one. Flicks are on point. Leviathan approaching 50% yet again. Melee orbs are now added to the rotation, and he doesn't miss a single tick. Opting to keep going further. Oh, getting scary. Will he choose to barrage here? Let's find out. He does go for it. Doesn't fancy dealing with even faster tick Leviathan. Puts his crossbow on accurate, takes a drink of wine, and turns the prayer on for the hit. How good is that? He's got chat box closed, so he's not going to know what the special is, but it looks to be like lightning. His pathing was good. He does take a bit of damage here, but he will be fine. Who is this man? His name is Marcus, and he is gaming on the competition. You can tell by what specials Paul falls. Oh, okay. He just knows more than me, you know? Deciding to take a dose of wine. 94 attack, but it won't impact his range level. Choosing to lose as few ticks as possible to maximize his DPS and make sure that his one barrage to get through to the final phase is enough. Some more rubies coming out, and he's on 25%. He's going to have to try and push Leviathan into the final phase. He's got no more barrages left. 20.8%. Any attack will do it now. He's missed a tick. I repeat, he's missed one tick. He needs to hit this. He needs to hit this. There's the hit. Will it be enough to drag it into 20%? 19.1 it is. Now he's got to go and get ready. He's waiting for the orb to catch up with him. And now he's in, taking a few doses of his food. There's another ruby, not so useful now, 29. Is that in melee range? I feel like this is in melee range, but I'm not sure. Does anyone know if that's actually melee range, or if he does not melee? Oh, he's taking damage, you gotta get stable, you gotta get ahead of it and stable. He's now in it, good to go. Flicks look good, pathing looks good, now he's in control. Doesn't melee a lot in normal, right. It's more so a problem for Awakened. And there's the kill. The man with 80 prayer finishes the kill in 3 minutes flat, dropping 6 anglerfish, which has practically tripled his bank value. That was the 9k and 200 GP kill from Marcus for second place. These kills are like so fast, man. These kills are so fast. Relate had like a 2-minute 20. Marcus has a 3-minute kill. I mean, isn't it so crazy how Ruby RNG can do that? I know it's not like every single kill or anything, but it's still remarkable. Right, that was second place Leviathan, and the standings look like this. First place yet to go. Any guesses on who this will be? Any guesses at all? Okay, firstly, guess the player. Secondly, guess the budget. This player has been featured in the comp so far, and the question is, what's the budget? Fortunately, it's not Port. Port Kazard, 200 GP, CX, Classics, 890. Boaty 5k, Boaty 5k. Is it me? I didn't participate in this. I just doing thing. Dodo 8k, 8.5k. Interesting. Okay, firstly, this kill was done in under 6,000 GP. This kill was under 6,000 GP, for starters. Which is already madness. The player, Emonc, the winner of the Duke Challenge, with the orange salamander. Heyo, who is this guy? How is he doing this to the competition? First, he whips out an orange salamander, less than 500 GP in his inventory, and slays Duke. And now he's out here taking rank 1 home for Budget Leviathan. In his inventory, he is running Topaz bolts, a couple of rubies, just like nothing. No prayer potions, no nothing. The poorest man in the world, and yet the most skilled. And he's got the tunes, which I can't play either, but he's just gaming, man. This is his average day at Leviathan. This is what he does. Taking the time to collect himself. All right. So, whoa, hold up, partner. Here we go. This is his inventory. Just under 6k. Kirby went under 10k. Heem is going under 6k. Just taking it up a notch. He's got 1 bolt equipped, which is he's got 1 bolt available, which is the poison bolt. He has 14 ruby bolts. 14 ruby bolts. Everyone else had like 50 something. Could have used a range mix. Could have used a range mix to take it even lower. Maybe he wanted it to be 5999. It's a clean number. Who are you to judge his decisions? He knows best. Taking the wines, the Windows range pot, and just basic leather range gear. Simple as. Pre-pots don't matter because he uses his potion immediately. So I know he was 110 from previously, but it doesn't matter because he repots immediately, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Right. Here is the sub 6k regular Leviathan kill from Heem. First place in the comp and the final run of the comp. To be B4B rubies. I mean, there's got to be a good amount, right? Heem, how many resets did he do for this? How many attempts did he do overall? Curious. Halfway through the bolts, right? It's crazy. There's more rubies coming in hot. It was about 2 hours straight, then about the number of resets. Okay. 2 hours to get a run like this. 2 hours to get a run. Very nice. You'd reset any run that didn't get at least 2 rubies in the first 14 bolts, right? He's letting it ramp up a little bit here, making sure that he can save his barrage. And we're now into melee territory. I will say from Heem's submissions, he also did a 7k run, and decided that the 7k wasn't good enough, so he did a 6k run. So he has the top 2 runs, not just the top 1, but the top 2. He did multiple. So this is a very, very well-deserved run. He uses the Emerald Bolt for the proc here to guarantee the poison. And he's now out of bolts. Put your bolts on, bro! Put your bolts on! Heem! Heem! Heem? Maybe he doesn't want to use them. I don't know, actually. Do you not... This is part of the strategy, for anyone wondering. This is absolutely part of the strategy. It's basically mind games for the Leviathan. And... and Leviathan is just very confused right now. He doesn't really know what to do. And he's been letting his guard down. And now that his guard is down, these bolts are going to start shredding. Absolutely genius. So the poison is now kicking in. You see the 5-hit splat on him there. Very well crafted use of the bolt, especially after that that first barrage to make sure it lands. Very good, because obviously the chances of it hitting if you only bring 1 isn't that high. Those bolts will poison the boss. He's getting pretty deep into this. The flicks are on point. Here's another barrage. This is his last barrage, I think. He might have one more. A good flick to call us off. Yeah, I think so. He's got one more barrage after this. Sipping wines as he goes around the back. And Leviathan is sitting at around about 35% HP. His budget is 5-9. Look at that skip as well. Running back through the rock that last fell. Really nice usage of the rock skips there. Second best only to the Kirby movement. Sorry, the Kirby skip. Was that a Kirby skip? Maybe that was that was the Heme skip, bro. That was the Heme skip. Kirby's old news. Heme rank 1. Unless it was the Kirby Heme skip. Maybe it's a joint effort. The Heme skip is skipping your bolts for lightning. That's more accurate. Leviathan is getting close to the 20%, and his inventory is looking slim. 1 wine remaining, 0 wines remaining, and his entire inventory is now clear of supplies. He's going to have to play this correctly, making sure he takes no damage. Oh, there's a 22. 63 HP, 56 Brett. Plenty of run, though. And he should have enough bolts to get through to the end. The Kirby skip. Long kill, man. Long kill. I don't know if he has any barrages left, but now it's about time to use them if you got them. Otherwise, you just got to hit the numbers. There's a big hit. Will it be enough to take him below? Not quite. There's another. That should be it. Oh, no. It's got a hit. There it is. Now we're into Enrage. He's 30 HP entering Enrage. Other players have taken more than 30 damage. How is he going to handle this? He got to dodge all the rocks. Got to have good pathing, good flicks. Leviathan on just over 100 HP now. Nearly hit, well, very close to the rockfall. Good flicks, good flicks. 63 HP. Couple of range orbs. Light work for the Heme. Just another kill. Just another day. 20 HP. Final one coming in. Some tricky Jad hits from Leviathan, but he takes it home. There we are. 888 KC, nice and easy. 5-minute 30 kill. His entire inventory gone. Can we get our hands together for both him and all the other contestants of the challenges? And there we have it. The overall standings for Leviathan. Emonc top once again, the only player to win 2 challenges. So taking home 300 million GP for his efforts. Extremely well played to everyone. And thank you guys all for submitting. Let me run through everything from the top down. So the entire challenge was this. If you guys missed it out or anyone wanted to have a look at the end, tradable items, everything you bring in counts, can submit it for up to 2 bosses. Lowest budget wins. Again, big thank you to both Omelette Hunter and Baking Soda for helping fund this because I am poor. If you want to help fund it, please hit me up on Discord because I've got a lot more events planned and I actually need the funding to do it. Or just give your Prime sub because I would love some Prime subs. And I will turn your Primes into bonds and we will run some more stuff. So thank you guys for participating. Vardorvis, honorable mentions once again. Thank you guys for attempting the Vardy runs. The final Vardorvis leaderboard. Ali, Bavaro, Lexus, Kirby, and Obese Leopold. Moving in from 73k all the way down to sub 15k. Anyone who placed third or above was in the prize money. Third was 25 mil. Second is 75 and first is 150. Duke. Here we are. Yanksy Sachs, Dodo, Virtus, and Brad all coming in the honorable mentions. Dodo with the recoil one, which was an extremely fun one to watch. The Duke leaderboards. Zen, Norse, Lextash, Voided, and Heem again on top. Some really crazy runs. Heem just smashes it out the park. Just kind of crazy. His run was actually 372 GP. My numbers on this are a bit fudged. But extremely well done from there. Wisp didn't have a honorable mentions, but this is the Wisp standings. Ali again placing. Dark Nat Cruncher doing an extremely... Cruncher's run for Wisp was one of the most interesting ones today. It had the Vengeance End kill, which was just crazy. A pure range and venge kill. If you didn't see it, try go back and watch it. This whole thing will be on YouTube later. And Relate taking home first place for a 34k kill. Leviathan, honorable mentions. Again, Leviathan, the most competitive category for sure. Nat, Dark, Wizzy, Adonis, Dodo, and Virtus all placing, leading us down to a 15k budget. And then Kirby starting us off with a sub 10k kill, and Heem again on top with a sub 6. Hugely well played to everyone. Some really fun runs. Thank you for competing. And before we're done here, don't leave yet. I've got 3 more things to show. So, I'm not just doing 1 more of these things, I'm doing 3 more of these things. And these are all going to be for awakened bosses. These are not the finalized rules. They're going to be like, there's going to be a channel in my Discord, so if you want to participate or watch it or like be notified for shit, firstly join the Discord, because I'm going to try and run more events now for this kind of thing. They're just good fun. And the first one we're going to be looking at, this is one of my own device, my own design. This is a new challenge for anyone interested in going for it, with a 500 million GP prize attached. Perfected Endurance of Awakened Leviathan. This carries on from what I was trying to do previously with the maximum amount of Leviathans in a row that were awakened. In order to do this, you must defeat the Awakened Leviathan as many times as possible in a row. If you die, you must restart. Purple Sweets are limited to 25 per orb. Supply drops cannot be used. You may not replenish any stats. You may not bank or trade or have help at any time. You must play to the spirit of the competition. If in doubt, ask. And you must plan carefully. So good luck. 500 mil total prize is split between the players with the highest amount of kills in a row. So if there are 3 players, if there are like 2 players with 7 kills in a row, you'll get split 250 each. But if only one person gets like 8, then you know, you take all the money you want. So of course, yes, you will have to wait for orbs. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to run this competition right now. This particular one, I'm going to wait a little bit, and this will come up in the next few weeks or months. And we're going to wait for players, we're going to wait for orb prices to go down. This one might come up in like 2 months, 3 months, but it's something I want to run. So if you want to start planning and have an idea, or like, you know, you got a friend who might be interested in this kind of thing, let them know, and then in Discord at some point I will announce it. And we'll go run this thing. So hopefully when orbs are maybe like 2 mil, this one will come up and we'll start accepting responses. If they go up indefinitely, then maybe we just sit on this. The second competition is a Vardorvis competition. He's beginning to believe. You must defeat Awakened Vardorvis with the lowest budget possible. This is still a budget competition. Chris, bro, if Chris was here, he might try this one. However, there are some particular rules. Dodge. You may not axe skip. Anyone axe skipping, not allowed, bro. You can't sit in a corner. You have to do the room. You have to do the room. You may not use untradeable items. Salamanders and ruby bolts are banned. So you have to be very careful with your setup. You can't just ruby bolt your way there, and you can't just salamander it. Teleports do not count, of course. Anything like getting there and back is fine. Play to the spirit of the competition. If in doubt, ask. Plan carefully and good luck. Player with the lowest budget takes home 500 mil. So you can't run through axes. Now, there are probably going to be some very circumstantial rules about this, and we will be looking to enforce the play to the spirit of the competition rule. And the idea here is that, like, you're not allowed to sit in the corner and just dodge axes. You actually have to do the room. So you have to be very careful with how you do it. And it's really up to you on how you want to approach this. My method for this, I think, is very good. If you accidentally run through, I'm going to judge it based on how likely I think it was to be an accidental movement, or whether it was actually a purposeful movement. Because it's pretty hard to do it accidentally, but even I've done it, so I know it's possible. So what I'm going to do is I might limit the amount of axe skips. When this challenge comes up, I'm not going to do it immediately, but when it comes up in Discord and it's going to be in a channel, I'll make sure to have a rule like saying you can skip axes up to 3 times, or something like that. There will be a rule to allow you to accidentally get through it, and you'll be okay with it. But it'll be limited to like 2 or 3. 3 axe skips maybe, something like that. You'll have a limited amount. The axe I just took from Vardorvis. This is all my own editing. It was pretty fun to do this, actually. Didn't take too long either. And the last challenge is the hardest one of all. You guys ready? The Awakened Raid Challenge. You must defeat all 4 awakened bosses in a row. If you die, you must restart. You may not axe skip, even for this challenge. Purple sweets are banned. Supply drops cannot be used. You may not replenish any stats before the next encounter. You may not bank or trade or have help at any time. Play to the spirit of the competition. Again, same kind of idea. Plan carefully, and good luck. First completion is 1 billion GP. This is possible. I might be attempting it myself to prove that it's possible, and you guys are welcome to like try and copy the strats if I do it, but this will absolutely not be a thing that I'm allowed to compete in. If I do it, I won't be taking the money for any of this. I'm just putting up the challenges. Has anyone done this? No. Now, the thing is, this is actually not as bad as it sounds, because you are able to use Void. And Void makes this much easier because you have so many supplies to work with. So anyone who attempts this will most likely use Void. And I'm not going to put up the prize for this right now. Like, if you're going to try and attempt this, you can do it and record it and timestamp it and date it if you want to do this. Because I'm not opening any of these challenges immediately. But if you want to compete, go in my Discord. There'll be a channel for when they go up, and then, you know, again, date your runs if you want to get started early, and then when the channel actually goes up, we'll make it a thing. The reason I'm waiting on these is because the orbs are expensive. The orbs are very expensive. And so I don't want to get people to really go and do it immediately because it's going to burn their banks. And ultimately, there is only one winner, whoever does it first. So we got 3 new challenges. Again, perfected endurance is as many awakened Leviathan in the same inventory. Personally, I've done 5. So I know that 5 is like completely fine. I did use supply drops, but I could have been fine without them. This is a challenge where 5 is like the bare minimum. I'll have some very specific rules that you have to do at least 5 to make this count, and if it's 6, 7 plus whatever, that's okay. There's going to be some other rules for all these bosses. Again, the detailed rules will be in the Discord, and these are just like outstanding challenges. These ones will go up in a month or 2, and then have like a 1 week, 2 week window. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. And the Awakened Raid Challenge with a 1 billion GP prize pool for anyone interested. You will profit if you go for it. Someone's just got to try. Someone's just got to try. So again, run it down in the Discord if you're interested. And that's it. That's the stream for today. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the budget stuff. I'm going to edit it over the course of the next night or 2. Put it up on YouTube. You'll see the whole thing there if you're interested. And hopefully in the next few months, I'll be able to stream some of these as well. Or whoever gets the runs anyway. Nothing left from me. Check out my partnership with Apex Gaming if you're interested in any PCs, if you're on a laptop. Or if you want to upgrade your setup, 10% off anything from my range below. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we're back on Monday with some regular content. Thank you again for everyone participating.